Around very humid and 92. Clear, warm, and humid Tuesday night, 76. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Not sure if you should repair or replace an aging air conditioner? Check out the free repair or replace tool from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/repair or replace.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Last night, we were sitting around the dinner table, had breakfast for dinner last night. Brenner's always a good idea. I highly recommend it, especially when you're kind of in the mood to just make pancakes. We're sitting there, we're eating dinner, and I go, oh, hey, we should turn on the NBA. And everybody in my house simultaneously went, why? They didn't even know that the playoffs were happening last night. Hadn't thought about it. And my son was okay with the idea, but the reason I wanted to do it is because President Trump went to the Knicks game last night in Madison Square Garden. I am just tripping over the obsession that some of these morons out there have. Like, what does Trump know about the Knicks? It seems absolutely so shallowly ridiculous to think that maybe Donald Trump wouldn't have some sort of affinity, knowledge of, or a likely relationship with the Knicks. So Donald Trump goes, he causes quite a bit of a security uproar, and as the president, he goes into the NBA playoffs games. Of course, that upends everything, and some things can say, some things can't. So it's controversial in that regard. And then, of course, what percentage of the NBA fans? Remember that? We talked about this a while ago, Ryan, about athletes in each professional sports league, and hockey players were by far the most registered Republicans.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have remembered that, but now
the NHL had the highest number of registered Republicans. And then after that, baseball was higher, and baseball had a lot of registered Republicans and then a lot of people who are unregistered and then some Democrats.
Okay.
And then the NFL was a bit split, I think 50-50-ish in how many people registered Republican versus Democrat, but then the not registered to vote or not responding, whatever, independent, not registered to vote, not registered to a party. For the NFL, that was a pretty large contingent. The NBA, man, they are not red. They're not Republicans, at least not admittedly. How are they registered? How do they vote? Who knows? Depending on which state you're in, your party registry essentially gives you the opportunity to vote in a state primary to choose that party's candidate. But not every state is like that. Not every state do you have to take the primary ballot of your party. There are some states where you can pull either ballot. So it is what it is. But the NBA, not really known for their strong conservative values that are exemplified in the athletes or the organization. Fair?
Yeah, well, you could say that about almost every one of the organizations. Like the leagues themselves, they don't
I wouldn't
tend
say
to.
that. NHL and the MLB, they espouse very strong American ideals, family values, conservative values.
I just see a lot of stuff from each of them that suggests that they also do some socially liberal things.
Like
but
what?
Regardless, I mean, they're all having pride nights and stuff.
Not all of them. The Texas Rangers refuse to do it, and they don't care. And there are a lot of truncated versions of Pride Night in Major League Baseball. And I also know a lot of gay people who are conservative. So I don't think that by virtue of acknowledging something Pride in June makes you non-conservative.
Well, I would, just because of the social movement of it. Not that an individual can't be. But regardless, the athletes, 100%. I remember the conversation of us talking about which of the athletes lean left, and NBA was way left.
And we've had Jonathan Lucroy on the show several times. He's a very accomplished professional baseball player, catcher in Milwaukee. You might have remembered them from like the 2011-13 times in playoffs. Oh, gosh. I think 2011, is that when we beat? No, that's when we beat the Dodgers, right? No, yes. Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw, Michael Wacha, Game 6.
Oh, gosh. Man, I would never remember this until you start saying it. Nice memory.
Thank you. I was there.
Were you really?
At Game
Were
6.
you at Game 6?
Yeah. That I was
Of
able
that
to watch
series.
of the home clinching, winning the pennant. Yes, I've never been to a World Series game.
Which was that
should've
Chris
gone.
Carpenter versus
Chris, that was the Phillies.
Halliday?
Halliday, 1-0.
Oh, that was Phillies, yeah.
And that game, this has nothing to do with the NBA playoffs, but it's so fun to talk about. That game was the same night that 97.1 hosted Glenn Beck and Sarah Palin.
Oh, I have heard that. So I wasn't here yet, but I remember that.
I'm sitting in a suite. Oh my gosh, I have so many funny stories from that night. I'm sitting in a suite with the 97.1 staff and friends, which included Mark Bolger, because Dave Glover was in this.
That's right.
And Dave
They
and
were
Mark
buddies.
were buddies. But when Glenn Beck is up there, he's probably talking about, I need to go see if that night was videoed and shared on YouTube or something, because I want to find this moment. But when Carpenter locked it down and we won it, like right when that last out would have happened because we would have been pitching, the crowd went all at the same time. And Glenn Beck like stopped and engaged in a defensive stance on the stage. Like, what happened? And he was in the middle of talking about like potential World War III. If you listen to Glenn Beck, the Caliphate, and all of these things that he was like big on, and he was deep into it. And there was this big collective. And he's like, he just looked, he goes, what? And someone's like, the Cardinals just won. And he goes, oh, thank God. And it was really funny. The secondary story that I have to tell sorry, Mom, when I was sitting in that suite, I had brought my mom and one of her dear friends from work, Trish. And I was doing laps doing digital brand manager stuff because I was the digital brand manager of 97.1 way back then. And I got back to the suite. And my mom had been chatting up this person in the suite like crazy. And then when I walked in, she's like, my mom introduced me to him, and she's like, this man's name is Mark. He's a real good friend of Dave Glover. I go, Mom, that's Mark Bolger. He's the quarterback for the Rams. She was like, oh. And I'm like, I think that Mark probably loved being introduced as a really good friend of Dave Glover.
Before we get to the NBA.
We'll get back on topic here. He was so sweet about it, though.
My mom had to get a Christmas gift that involved Mark Bolger once, and it was supposed to be a white home Rams jersey. And so she walked, and it was supposed to be a Bolger jersey. So she walked into the store, and she kept asking. We couldn't figure out why we were all laughing at it. She kept asking for a large white Bolger.
Okay.
And she didn't know. I mean,
Thanks
she's
for-
totally innocent, asking for the jersey.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh,
Great
funny.
addition. Our moms.
Yeah, our
Mark
moms.
Bolger. So President Trump is at the Knicks game last night, and he's unapologetically there, as he is wherever he goes. It's not as though he's going to show up at the Knicks and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you guys weren't going to want me here. He shows up to hear the boos. There's not even a single bit of him that's like hurt. When he shows up in New York City and half the people are cheering for him or cheering USA and the other half are booing him, I mean, if it's 50-50, which is, I've heard, it's hard to get a reaction to this moment from somebody who doesn't have an invested interest in how it comes off. Were they boos? Were they USAs? Were they cheers? What was it? It doesn't matter. Donald Trump showed up. He's the first sitting president to attend an NBA playoffs game in his hometown of New York City. He's a Knicks guy. And if you pay any attention to the history that exists with President Trump and the owner of the Knicks, it's very obvious. It's very clear that Donald Trump's longtime history of being kind of the New York City prince, that this is a place that he probably truly wanted to be. He probably truly wanted to experience this because he cares about the city and he wanted to be a part of it. Now, does that mean it's a personal point of pleasure that he gets to go do these things? Maybe. But at the same time, he's the president of the United States. He's going to bring a level of attention to this game that wasn't there before, even though if you listen to the national media, everybody is cheering for the Knicks. Here's President Trump after the game as he's getting ready to board Air Force One.
He came over to pay his respects. As president, he came over. We talked a little bit about the NBA and about the game, and the game's changed. I said it's gotten rougher, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's gotten rougher. When you look at the way they guard people now, I don't remember them doing that 10 years ago. And he knows a lot about basketball, but it's good. It's good for the game.
You think the NBA has turned away from the left-wing stuff that they were getting criticized for?
Well, it's a little left-wing. I think so. It tends to be a little bit left-wing, but it's great entertainment. Great.
It's great entertainment. It's great. And President Trump appreciates, if you've ever paid any attention to Donald Trump's, the roast of Donald Trump, there are comedians who ripped him to parts, go backstage, and he'd go, that was great television. And they tell this story about how, does this man have emotions? Does this man have feelings? I think he does. But I think that he's very confidently secure in what actually gets to scratch the itch on the emotion. And the rest he just understands as entertainment. How many more people watched the NBA playoffs last night because Donald Trump was there? I know 6 who did, because I did. We turned it on, and then we didn't see anything. I think they showed like one cutaway of him in the booth. And then somebody goes, Mom, are you going to want to watch the halftime show? I'm not even watching the game. We don't need to watch this anymore. Like I wanted to know if there was a thing.
If they were making it into anything.
Yeah. So we've got some more sound and audio from this. And I do think this matters because you know what Donald Trump doesn't do? He doesn't only go to like a NASCAR race or maybe a golf outing. He doesn't only go where stereotypically you would think that his people are. He goes. He's the president of those people, assuming that they're American citizens. He's the president of those people sitting in that arena. And he shows up there too. And nobody's going to tell him, you can't come, especially when the people at the top, the owner of the Knicks, I'll play some clips for you from the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, in a little bit, who talks about Donald Trump's great contributions to the NBA over the decades. This is so important for him to go because if he's got 30% of the people in that arena or around these organizations going, yeah, come, then that cuts right in half and separates the understanding that a lot of these people in here have. They're living in a bubble that says everybody hates this man. Nobody likes this man. When you realize, actually, maybe it's just a fifth of the people in that room. But the NBA commissioner, the owner of the Knicks, he is so smart to understand that and to not let the booze hinder his interest in a team that he's championed for so incredibly long in the New York Knicks. I don't care who wins. I kind of am pulling for the Spurs. David Robinson, hope he does great. Is that his name?
Yep, that's his name.
That's like
current player.
Back in junior. I don't know.
That might be the third.
Yeah, I like to watch the big guys in the middle of the paint do their thing in the 90s. So, and then I moved on. We want your thoughts on this. The YouTube live chat poll: is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? Sure, if he wants to. No, or you do not care. And I wonder if don't care is going to supersede even our audience saying sure if he wants to.
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of going to be the fight, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it really is. Nate Foy, who was reporting at Madison Square Garden last night, Fox News correspondent, is going to be with us in just a minute. Don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. You know Stewie as the Bagel Loan guy, and the Bagel Loan is a mortgage, new or refinance, that you're going to get that comes with $0 in closing costs. This is a great opportunity for you to refinance your mortgage and do it without having to pay out thousands of dollars to make it happen. But also, let me talk to you about a special opportunity Stewie has for you right now with the Bagel Loan on a new home purchase. On a new 30-year loan, for the first year of your new loan, you can lock in a 1% lower interest rate on a new 30-year loan and still qualify for the Bagel Loan, which is going to get you no dollars in closing costs. Contact Stewie directly by call or by text message, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And tell Stewie that Annie sent you. If you've been listening to the Annie Frey Show for a long time, you know that I'm a two-time customer of the Bagel Loan myself. It is for real. He's a great guy. He'll do business with you directly, and he's easy to reach. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
License number GL250000615.
You're cooking dinner. The lights go out. You flip the breaker and forget about it.
But what if it keeps tripping?
Trips once, your breaker's doing its job. Keeps tripping? That's a warning. Bad wiring, or something worse.
Do people just keep flipping it?
Most do, until they can't anymore.
Call Grasser. We'll stop the trip.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
I want to talk about it. I told y'all Trump would mess everything up. It's his fault. It's his fault. Yeah, Jalen Brunson didn't pass the ball. He shot twice as much as everybody else. OG Anunoby had 28 points on 13 shots. Jalen Brunson had 32 points on 25 shots. It was like he was trying to win MVP. It's not how they played the first two games. But it's all about Trump. Trump ruined this. President Donald Trump showed up here and disrupted the vibe, disrupted the momentum, disrupted everything. And the New York Knicks faltered because of it. It's all his fault. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so I don't know if Stephen A. Smith is actually being sarcastic there, because if you're talking about a championship caliber team that can get disrupted by a vibe shift, then I don't know that you're a championship caliber team. But what do I know? I'm big into middle school sports.
That's a darn good point.
Thank you. Let's get to Nate Foy, Fox News correspondent on X at Foy Meets World. And I saw you last night reporting from Madison Square Garden. Talk to me about the vibe there, Nate, while you're covering this incredible story.
Well, hey, thanks for having me. The vibe was electric. The Garden was definitely rocking. The Knicks fans were clearly very excited to be hosting the first finals game in New York in 27 years. During the national anthem, President Trump was saluting the American flag, and he did get booed, which was quite different than what we saw when he was the president-elect the last time he was at MSG for a UFC fight, when he was cheered very loudly. So that was the reaction to President Trump and the cabinet officials and others who were in the suite with him, along with Knicks owner James Dolan, who invited Trump. Dolan's a member at the Mar-a-Lago Club. He's donated for several Trump campaigns. But yeah, the crowd wasn't too friendly to Trump. And then the team, I don't want to say they laid an egg. They came out very sloppy. And then in classic Knicks fashion, they're such a scrappy, tough team. They clawed their way back into the game. But ultimately, Victor Wembanyama was just too much to overcome, with a big third quarter that sort of propelled the Spurs to take control of the game. And then the Knicks just couldn't get over the hump in the fourth quarter.
Well, okay, so Nate Foy, we're sitting here in St. Louis, Missouri. We've got a kind of a bi-state region between Illinois and Missouri. There's not really an NBA team here. We used to have one. We don't have it anymore. They're in New Orleans now. But the national coverage when the Knicks are in it, and especially with the drought that has existed from when the Knicks last competed for a championship, obviously there's a lot of attention being put on the Knicks' possibility of winning a championship. You're there in New York City. You're covering this. Is it overtaking the whole city? Is this sweeping NYC right now?
Definitely. It's so much different than when the Yankees made the World Series. When the Yankees we're in the World Series, you kind of barely noticed it, honestly. And I think that baseball is becoming less popular generally across the country than it was when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the Knicks have unified New York in a way that I honestly didn't even think was possible. People all over the city are just so positive, so energetic, so into this playoff run. And I'm from Boston, so I'm a lifelong Boston Celtics fan, and I've never been a fan of the New York Knicks. But I have to say, this team is so likable to the point that I find myself rooting for them. You know, you have the Spurs, which are also a very likable team, which makes this matchup just interesting and fun to watch because the Spurs are young. They're an up-and-coming team. They have probably the most physically gifted superstar outside of maybe LeBron James, you could argue, in NBA history. And then the New York Knicks have perhaps the most physically limited superstar that we've seen in Jalen Brunson, this undersized guard who's not lightning quick, but through fundamentals and, you know, intelligence and pure skill is able to put a team on his back and lead a group of otherwise solid but not spectacular players to within 2 games of an NBA Finals championship.
Fox News correspondent Nate Foy speaking with us. How much time were you able to spend covering this last night? I did see your stand-up coverage of it. Were you able to talk to any people? Did Trump come up? I always wonder how much the Trump contingent from, you know, our side on the news, political coverage. Of course, it's the big story over in our little neck of the woods, but is it really infiltrating? Were people discussing it, talking about it, or was it really just more Knicks centered?
I mean, the energy was more Knicks centered last night. I was personally talking to people with Bruce Blakeman, the Nassau County executive, who is the Republican running for governor here in New York. He was in the suite with President Trump and several other people last night. The politics of it, anytime that President Trump returns to his hometown, are obvious, and people do care about it. Obviously, New York City is predominantly full of liberal people, so that's why you got the reaction that Knicks fans gave President Trump last night. But even within that moment, you know, they booed him when they brought up Trump on the Jumbotron during the national anthem. And then the moment that they switched to a different shot, then there were chants of USA and Go Knicks. And immediately it was back to a very positive vibe focused on basketball and just general excitement. And I mean, it was great to hear the USA chants with the president in the building, because even though many in MSG last night voiced their displeasure with him, generally they still showed some patriotism, which was good to see.
We're speaking with Nate Foy, Fox News correspondent. I'm curious about your thoughts on there are people criticizing that Donald Trump has no business there. I think they've completely forgotten that Donald Trump and New York City are intertwined in a way that is inseparable. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump's history with the NBA, but specifically the New York Knicks?
I think it's ridiculous. I was listening to the Stephen A. Smith clip right before you brought me on, and I think that you're correct that, you know, any athlete who actually is that superstitious to the point where some outside event influences their play on the field or on the court, they're not going to be a champion anyway. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that these guys are under so much pressure. And if they play bad, they just get hammered on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to grow accustomed to this. And they develop, the ones who last and excel, develop this mental toughness and this ability to sort of go, you know, inside themselves and tune out the noise. Trump being at the game last night had nothing to do with the result on the court. All that it had to do with was the fact that the Spurs played really well. These players are locked in. These are 2 really good teams. President Trump is a lifelong Knicks fan. He has shown that since before he was even in office. All the political games, I think, are silly. And you saw last week when Governor Hochul tried sort of dunking on President Trump. It didn't go too well for her because she said that she challenged him to name players on the 1993 Knicks championship team. But the problem for her is there is no Knicks 1993 championship team. The Knicks last won in 1973. So she ended up looking foolish while trying to make Trump look foolish.
I didn't hear that.
And I think that Zoran Mamdani, the socialist mayor of New York City, is actually doing a better job, a smarter job of handling this. He welcomed Trump. He said, hey, listen, anybody who supports the New York Knicks right now, we welcome them.
Yeah.
He did not meet with Trump while the president was in the city last night. Mamdani was also at the game. But he did welcome Trump to come back. And, the commissioner, Adam Silver, also came out and said, hey, listen, Donald Trump is a Knicks fan. He's been a Knicks fan for a while. So and he has a personal relationship with Jim Dolan as well.
Yeah. Mamdani kind of screwed up the Mets there for a while. I understood there was the curse of Mamdani as they went to visit with the Mets mascots there, and they went on a profound losing streak. So maybe it was his fault. I don't know.
Yeah, now we're getting back to the superstitions of sports, right? But
we're talking crap on the Mets because I think we're playing them coming up here shortly here in St. Louis.
The Mets are so bad; they just always need to find some new curse. And yes, it was Mamdani this time, but I, as a Boston Red Sox fan, I moved to New York, and I was thinking mutual enemies create friendships. I think the line is.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stand the Yankees growing up. I wanted a hometown team, so I adopted the Mets, and let me tell you, it's not going well.
A team in search of a curse might be the name of this hour with Nate Foy.
Yeah.
Nate, this is Ryan. Quick question for you. This is a little bit speculative, but is Donald Trump getting booed because he's in deep blue New York? Or as you follow the league, would this happen in any city because it's the NBA?
Well, generally speaking, if you follow the polls and you believe the polls, his approval rating is, at a low point with the war in Iran. So this is a time where no matter where he goes, he might get a less receptive audience compared to prior points in his presidency and even in future points. If the war in Iran ends and prices go down and people are happier in the next 6 months, he could get a very different reception. But definitely doesn't help. I forget the exact numbers. I think it's like 80% of people in Manhattan vote blue.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not in friendly territory here. So I think that what happened last night, he expected and everyone expected. And that's why I think if you look at the video as he's getting booed, he's sort of smirking through it. Now, of course, afterwards, Trump said later in the night that he thought the reaction was mostly positive. So
best reaction you've ever seen. Nothing like it.
Selective hearing from the president.
The people in my booth were cheering for me.
Did you? Did you talk to anybody? Did you go into the game, Nate?
I was in the game. Yeah.
Good for you. Did you talk to anybody that was happy he was there? Was anybody willing to say that?
I really wasn't talking politics with fans. They were more so just talking about the Knicks.
Yeah.
So we weren't having in-depth political discussions with the fans last night, but it was largely a positive experience. Really, the booing was confined to just the 5 seconds that they pulled him up on the jumbotron during the national anthem.
Yeah.
There was no heckling during the game with him being in the owner's box with Dolan. Once that one moment passed, the rest of it was focused on the Knicks. Very positive energy throughout MSG.
I just got a message from my husband that says we play the Pond Scum in New York tonight. That's how we refer to the Mets. It's a decades-long relationship there. So hopefully they'll pull it out. We thank you for your insight here, and we'll stay tuned to your coverage as this series that the whole country is paying attention to unfolds. We appreciate your time today, Nate.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep. Talk to you again soon, we'd hope. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. All right, bye.
Fox News correspondent Nate Foy on X at Foy Meets World. And Ryan, how you feel?
Pretty good. First time I've ever gotten to talk to one of my heroes, really, of national news. Nate Foy.
I don't know how many more. This is like, we've had a first date. This is our second date with Nate Foy.
Yeah.
Really yours.
My first date.
Your first.
I don't think that I've talked to him
You weren't
before.
there the first time, but if you know, you know. Ryan really respects Nate Foy.
I respect, a lot about him.
We respect all the Fox
I want to
News.
talk to him about maybe his workout regimen, something like that.
I loved it. He was on covering that last night, and I'm like, there he is. We got our guy.
Someday we'll have to talk about the names that I've come up with for Nate Foy fans. I've got a different...
They probably exist already. Yeah. We'll have to see. Stick around. The poll for today, is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? No, the poll wasn't up earlier, so if you went to try to vote, it wasn't there, but it is now. Go vote. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Take your lawn from good to great with my friends at Lawn Enforcement. I'm talking expert lawn care services to keep your lawn in order. And here's what they'll do for you. Anybody can mow your grass. At Lawn Enforcement, they want to enhance your property. They'll do the mowing and the trimming. They'll fertilize and implement a weed control program and erosion control, which includes retaining walls if you need it. They can landscape. They can design and install your flowers, your shrubs, your trees, all of your hardscapes. No project is too big or too small for my friends at Lawn Enforcement. You can check them out online at yourlawnenforcement.com. So instead of envying your neighbor's lawn, your neighbors are going to be wishing they had the lawn and landscape that you have. Go ahead and enjoy your space. Be proud when you entertain your friends and your family. They've been in business for over 30 years. Be sure and tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to yourlawnenforcement.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholz of Kaufman Townsley. And here's one of our clients.
We always felt that they were an extension of our family and truly cared about what happened and not just about compensation.
Injured? Call 314-777-7777.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world. Even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
This is Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates. You know, the doctors, or just the best doctors to see for your best vision in St. Louis. 314-966-5000, the doctors. They've treated more than 250 doctors. That's more than any other practice. Dr. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Bersati, Dr. Andy Royer. 314-966-5000 is their phone number. 314-966-5000. Dr. Birdie, Dr. Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, dry eye, allergy eye, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, LASIK surgery. The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, experts. Call for an appointment today, 314-966-5000, or visit them online, youridoc.com, 12990 Manchester Road, quarter mile west of 270. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
The YouTube live chat poll, is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? Sure, if he wants to. No, don't care. Those are your options. Here's one comment from our text line, 314-241-9797. It says, Trump clearly didn't disrupt the vibe of the Spurs. These people are ill. Let us know what you think. 1236, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
2026 is a big year for America, and we'll be here with you, celebrating every step of the way. Happy birthday, America, in 2026.
We've got Jim Talent coming up in about 30 minutes from right now, and the news, good grief. I put together kind of a daily show notes, just a place for me to go back and reference things that would be good content for the show. And sometimes I don't even look at the daily show notes during the show, and other times I squeeze every drop out of that I can. But with the Iran situation, that changes 3 times over at times when I put the links on my show notes to when I have the opportunity to talk about it, which is why I'm very much so looking forward to talking to Senator Jim Talent at 1:05. So keep it right here. If you're listening on the radio at your lunch hour right now in your car, thank you first and foremost. And secondly, grab that Odyssey app, AUDACY, find 97.1 FM Talk and stream us anytime. You could do a lot of things on that thing. Can you pause it?
I
Can
think
you rewind it?
There's been features that they've changed. I think you can still pause it. I think you can still go backwards too, although it's not the same as it used to be with rewind. It's similar though.
It's a really handy resource, and the connection is crystal clear. So take us back on the Odyssey app to your office or home or wherever you might be going, and make sure you're there at 1:05 when Senator Talent updates us on the latest of what's going on in Iran. The Fox News report says President Donald Trump blamed Iran for shooting down a U.S. Apache helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz on Monday night, vowing to respond in a Tuesday post on Truth Social. So there you have it. Iran shooting down an Apache helicopter, and now Trump is saying, yeah, we're going to respond to that. So we've been talking yesterday. The poll was, is it time for a little less talk and a lot more action? Yeah, this looks like we're getting there, and Iran might have forced the president's hand in that. A lot of us, myself included, think that maybe action is we're maybe even a little late to get back to that plan, but what do I know? Senator Talent knows a lot more than I do and can kind of parse that apart for us in about 25 minutes from right now. More from the Truth Social post from President Trump. Quote, I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured, Trump wrote. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Exclamation point. Fox News says while media reports indicate the U.S. is still investigating the cause of the crash, 2 senior U.S. officials told Fox News that Iranian drones were responsible. The officials told Fox that the U.S. is still investigating whether or not the Iranians meant to hit the helicopter. I don't care.
Yeah. Oops, I hit a helicopter.
I don't make any decisions for anything outside of my home in conjunction with my husband, but I don't care.
You don't care
if
they're saying it's an accident.
No. It's like when accidents happen when you're out canoodling with your goofy friends in your teenage and college years at 1 a.m.
Oops, I accidentally knocked over 10 mailboxes.
Yeah. I don't remember it, though.
You're right, yeah.
I plead the fifth. U.S. CENTCOM announced a historic rescue mission for the helicopter pilots Tuesday morning, while officials confirmed to Fox News that the downed pilots were rescued using an unmanned surface vessel, Sea Drone, in a first-of-its-kind mission. The apparent aggression from Iran threatens a tenuous peace process after Trump said Monday night that a peace deal was just days away. Oh, God.
What is the defense there? Oh, we were just doing random missile shots. We didn't mean to hit that helicopter.
How do we take these things out? I mean, I feel as though I've been led to believe, and I really, really want to believe, that the United States can do anything. Maybe we're limited, but I haven't really seen where our limitations are quite yet, militarily speaking, other than the force of will and choosing. Now, I think that being reserved and being cautious and opening lines of communication is a very virtuous position to have. But that was back there. Look in the rearview mirror and wave goodbye, because this isn't moving in a direction that is good for the world, but my biggest interest, the United States. So take care of biz. Get it done. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just how I feel.
Okay.
And the left does this all the time. So gosh darn it, I'm feeling things that I don't know what to do.
Well, just feel them out here live.
I feel great that I get to do this here with you.
Thank you very
Ryan.
much.
I'm sure that my feelings and emotions are in great care.
What a privilege. Thank you very much.
I gave you Nate Foy, Ryan.
You gave me the world. I would like, when you talk to Jim Talent, to know what happens if we go full on into diplomacy. What does that look like? How does this end? Or
looks like this. It's stalling.
I know, but the reverse. What happens if we go full-on military action?
Pew pew.
What does this look like? What's the end of it? I'm sure that it's not going to be full one or the other.
Enforced peace.
But I just don't. I want to know what the options are because I don't know what they are.
I'll ask.
Thank you. I'll be listening. Maybe.
It's not true.
But just to that
That's
question.
not even true.
I just want to know that one.
What do we have on for Wiggins America today?
Oh, yeah. This is a really good one. This is epic.
As opposed to?
Oh, some of them are terrible.
What was yesterday's topic?
Monday Roundup.
Oh.
We talked about all the Ryans getting together in Minnesota and riding roller coasters together.
Yeah, those are the air quotes things you might have missed over the weekend.
Ryans of the world unite.
Yeah. Does anybody want to sponsor Wiggins America?
If you do, let me know.
No, you should
or
let
Brad.
You let me know.
Or Annie.
You let me know.
Anybody here, probably not me, because they are more competent than me. Wiggins America today is epic questions to ask at a party to make you seem effortlessly cool.
Ooh, I think that by virtue of having to read this article, strike one.
You think that just because you're reading an article about how to be cool, you're not cool? Cool people love articles about being cool.
How do you know?
Because cool people tell me that. They say, Ryan, you want to be cool? Read this article.
Like, more than anything.
And they walk away in their little
more
group.
Than anything.
I say, it says so right here.
Yeah, they walk away in their little group and they're kind of like giggling. And I'm like, that sounds fun. Yeah. And I do whatever they say.
Okay, so let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll get Ryan's Wiggins America of actually. Don't go away.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Brian Kilmeade. You know, I always have a great time when I visit you guys, and I'm coming back this November. So join me, Brian Kilmeade, by getting tickets for the show at The Factory at 971talk.com/events.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
Things in Washington, D.C. may seem unsettled at times by their lack of progress. But one department in the U.S. government is progressing. That is the IRS. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS is in full function to collect on unpaid taxes. If you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and get it resolved. Don't think the government is too busy to focus on my issues. Too many of my clients thought the same. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Lance Story Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Or call 314-260-6120 or visit LandStoryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mrs. Weiland, why don't you go ahead and read the top line for me?
I should.
Next line.
Get my retirement. What's that?
Checked, Mrs. Weiland. Get your retirement checked.
Planning retirement on your own doesn't pass the eye test. Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost at Ricken Financial can help bring your retirement into focus. Call 314-207-6211. Ricken Financial, making sure your retirement vision is 2020.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What does the song make you think of? Is it like saxophone for you, or
No. The song makes me think of just wild nights and
with
soft, cool mornings. What about you?
You know your wife is on summer break, right? You're accountable right now.
Maybe she's listening and she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm not having any follow-up questions. That's good enough there. Brad's had enough.
Wiggins!
Wiggins! I was going to tell you that the YouTube poll for today, is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? Text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797 and vote at the Annie Frey YouTube channel.
Did you just let out an involuntary ope?
Oh, well, yeah, I was about to say something, and Brad just ended the music and sent us right into Wiggins America.
But I think
he was
in
so
the midst of that,
uncomfortable.
you
made
did
him so uncomfortable. Yeah, I did.
I need an adult.
What? Hello?
I need an adult in this room.
I don't know.
I'm offended at the suggestion that I wasn't trying to keep my hands at 10 and 2 on this show.
Would you be offended if I said that
Probably.
I didn't think that any of us were cool enough to be considered cool at parties?
I would not consider myself to be cool at parties. I won't speak for how cool you guys feel.
If I gave you some advice, would you take it?
Likely no, but I would be interested for the sake of time in listening to it.
There's two. Yo, because we do a radio show.
We do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll explain it to Ethan later.
Okay. Yeah, right, yeah.
He will never, ever. I want that clip. Can we get that cut? I need to reference that clip.
Why are we even talking about anything?
I don't want to ask Ethan to clip it because he won't do it. Somebody who has access to history of our show. I need the clip where Ethan's like, why are we even talking about this?
Talking about this? Why are we talking about anything at all, anytime? That stuff that we bring up is not even interesting. We don't need to discuss it.
Was it?
And we're like Ethan. I don't know if you know this.
I think it was with Sue. Was it Tuesday? I think it was with Sue.
It was a week ago today.
It was Tuesday. Okay.
X's and Y's coming up at 2:30. Listen in for Ethan's hot takes.
Or not. I mean, I don't know that he's going to say anything anymore.
For the record, Ethan, you can come in here and defend yourself at any time. He's just unwilling. He doesn't want to talk.
Well, I guess we're right. He didn't come in, so we're right. Everything we said was right.
He's choosing his battles.
Okay, these are things that you can say, questions you can ask amidst groups, amidst a party.
What are you saying?
That'll make people think that's a cool guy.
Beep, bop,
yes,
bop.
interesting questions. Now, there's two ways you can approach this, Annie. One is to say,
this is not a therapy session for me.
yes, it is. You coming in, buddy, or not? Okay.
They just know.
He's just
he
watching
stare.
us, which is
In true
odd.
Ethan fashion, I don't have to say words. They'll just look at you, and the people will know.
So I'm going to give you the question. You can tell me whether you think it is a good question for a party, whether you would use it, or you can answer the question.
Okay.
It's up to you. First one.
Ooh.
Walk up to people at a party and say,
I don't.
What advice would you give to your 10-year-old self?
Oh, heck. What do I do after they pat me on the head?
No. How about instead of you walking up to them and just saying this, which is a little awkward.
Do people have these kind of conversations at parties? Maybe I'm doing this all wrong and am committed to continuing to do it wrong.
I don't know.
To strangers? What if you're standing
How
at a
often are you
cocktail
at a party with all strangers?
Well, for work, a lot.
That's true. Okay, so next time you're at a work party.
What advice would you give your 10-year-old self?
What advice would you give your 10-year-old self? People go, this lady's cool. This blonde lady.
It is time
cool.
for the question, Ryan. What is your source?
Wondermind.com, I think. It just says Wondermind.
Onward.
Okay, so you're not sure about. We'll put that one in a category that says, we'll see. How about number 2? If you woke up in someone else's body.
What?
Hang on. This isn't some sort of social question.
It's not going to get better.
If you woke up in someone else's body, how would you convince your loved ones you are who you say you are?
What?
It's a classic Freaky Friday question.
Like how if I showed up and Ethan was actually me.
Yeah.
How would I be like, no, Ryan?
Yeah. How would you convince?
I would. You know how I'd do it?
How?
I'd say my name is Jeff.
Ooh, that's an inside joke for me.
Yeah, but that's how you would know.
How would you do that with every single person?
I would use an inside joke. That's the only way to do it. That's what an inside joke is.
That's probably true.
It's a joke between you and me
Yeah.
that you would go, okay, that's really you. How'd this happen?
I would not be convinced based on just that, though. I would assume that the
Yes,
real
you
Annie
would.
Frey
Yes, you would. That
have
inside
set-
joke started yesterday.
Yeah, but the real Annie Frey would have set that
Yesterday-
Ethan up to say
yesterday,
all this stuff.
On the show, Ryan is doing typical Ryan things, which is we're all having a conversation, and all he's trying to do, like Miley Cyrus, is come in there like a wrecking ball and screw up the whole path of the conversation. And we were talking about stupid masked drivers. And then Ryan's like, oh, you mean like a gorilla mask? And we're like, no, Ryan, that's not what we mean. So I went on my phone during the conversation and used AI to create a picture of a man driving a car wearing a gorilla mask, and I sent it to him.
Yeah, but then you sent me a text right afterwards that says, pay attention to the show.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Pay attention to Ethan.
That is what I said.
It was Ethan's segment. You
Yeah.
said pay attention to Ethan.
Yeah, you were doing business on your phone.
And one of those things was responding to your text on the show.
No, that was afterwards.
And then what did I say to you?
I don't remember. This is unmemorable.
I said, who is this?
Yeah, I said my name is Jeff.
You said your name was Jeff.
So that's how you
and
would
that's
know.
How you sent the
Do you have an inside joke with Brad that Brad could say something to you that only you two would understand? Like a nickname for me or something? Code word?
Ooh, I wish so. I wish. Because right now would be the perfect time.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Is it that you have it, but you can't say it out loud because then I'll know?
Well, if that were true, yes.
Sure.
There's no way we'd be able to share your
You're
nickname
keeping up
with you.
appearances incredibly well.
I'm trying to think of any sort of inside joke that I could say to Brad. I don't know that I could come up
No.
with one. I mean, if I thought long and hard enough, I could come up with something, but it doesn't happen immediately for me.
No.
Okay, the next one.
You send it Ethan, tell him that he looks like the foul word for crap. 'Cause that's what you tell him when he looks sick.
Yeah, that's right. The foul word for crap. The next one, you walk up to somebody at a party and you say this. They're going to think you are cool. If you could magically become really good at anything, what would you choose? They're going to go, now this is memorable.
You
This
should
guy's
keep all
memorable.
these questions for Ask Us Anything.
I will. I'm going to re-ask these.
You're going to what?
Re-ask them. Next one. Remember, you're at a party. You're just trying
What
to
would
eat
you be
some...
really great at if you could? Height?
That's not being good at anything.
Why, if you can manifest anything?
I'd be really good at building stilts or flubber for height. This is a long segment. Next one.
Russell says, what advice would you give your 10-year-old self? Avoid parties like this in 15 years.
Avoid the company
Russell,
party.
come sit with me in the back of the room.
In 2026.
We will be sarcastic till the cows come home. Yes, please.
Statler
Keep
and
in
Waldorf.
mind, I know we're almost done here, but keep in mind.
It feels like we're past that.
Guy is getting some cheese dip. He's got a couple little smokies on toothpicks. You walk up to him and go, hey, what evil job do you think you would excel at?
Evil job?
Yeah, evil job.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Name some evil jobs. I'll tell you if I'll be good at them.
Digging up dead people for treasure.
No? Gonna pass on that one. No skills applicable there.
No?
No. What about
to
you?
me, grave robbing is probably number one.
I hope Steve wasn't listening today.
All right, boss.
How do we go to Jim Talent from this? How do we restore the integrity
we do
of the
a
show?
Fox News hit at the
That's why
top
you
of
make
the
the big
hour.
bucks.
We're gonna ask Fox News to come here and
Reset.
do a heavy lift. Jim Talent right after that.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Have you visited the website to learn more about Matt Hayes' business and how it could be applicable to your needs? There are a variety of different foundation repair services that Matt Hayes and his incredible team here locally grown, and this business is rooted right here in St. Louis, Missouri, and Illinois services alike. When you need foundation repair, whether it's for your wet basement issues, for settling in the foundation of your home, evidenced by the cracks that might be appearing in your walls, in your paint, that have maybe grown over the course of time, you need an expert who's going to warranty that work that they're going to do on your home and go the extra mile. That's what Home Shield Foundation Repair commits to do for you. 314-271-9900. Call Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair at 314-271-9900. Get that wet basement taken care of and that foundation repaired. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage. We are in the 6th hottest real estate market in the country. Stewie, what can buyers in St. Louis do to gain that advantage with you?
You know what, Mark? It's real simple. Number one, the Bagel loan. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. The Big Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Take that money you're saving, add it to the bid, beat all the other offers out. Number two, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. What does that mean? We pre-approve you for the maximum amount that you qualify for. You can then go into our portal and edit the letter and raise it or lower it to any amount you want up to the amount you pre-approved. No waiting for the loan officer, no waiting for anybody else. It's all in your hands. And the third thing, we can close in 10 days. That's a big deal. If you go to the seller and say, hey, here's my offer. It may not be the best, but we can close quick. Everybody else is 30 days out. You know it's going to happen quickly with our reputation. Big bam boom, you got the house of your dreams.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
A U.S. response. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After the downing of an American helicopter, a crash now blamed on Iran.
President Trump's Iranians shot down a U.S. Apache helicopter Monday patrolling the Strait of Hormuz. The two pilots were rescued, and the president says both are safe and uninjured. But in a social media post, President Trump says the U.S., out of necessity, must respond to this attack. He did not detail what the U.S. response will be. The potential escalation comes just hours after President Trump expressed optimism a deal to end the war could be signed in the next 2 or 3 days.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. 2 senior U.S. officials tell Fox an Iranian drone shot down the helicopter. CENTCOM says the crew members were rescued by a Sea drone, an unmanned surface vehicle. A CENTCOM spokesman telling Fox that was an operational first for the U.S. military. Primaries underway in 4 states with a lot of attention on the Senate race in Maine.
On the Democratic side, the controversial leading candidate, a man named Graham Plattner. He is an oysterman. He's a Marine and Army veteran, a self-proclaimed foe of the oligarchy, facing another rough headline, courtesy of his former political director, titled, I know firsthand why Graham Plattner shouldn't be a U.S. senator. In the Washington Post opinion piece, Genevieve McDonald writes, Graham Plattner is not someone who would be good for Maine or for the country. He exhibits a pattern of dishonest behavior that is impossible to ignore.
Fox's Molly Line in Portland, Maine. Plattner has said the claims are politically motivated. The winning Democrat will face longtime Republican Senator Susan Collins this fall. Voters are also picking candidates for governor in Maine and South Carolina, for governor in Nevada, and for House races in all 3 states, plus North Dakota. Just getting word of a tentative contract deal for stadium workers near Los Angeles, averting a strike ahead of the opening World Cup match for the U.S. men's soccer team this Friday. America is listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
So Ryan and I came to the decision to get life insurance when I was pregnant with our first son. He really wanted us to be taken care of if something happened to him. He provided for our family in life and also after his death. I think that would make him proud. Ethos makes it fast and easy to get life insurance. Apply in minutes and get same-day coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions require.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
A mix of clouds and sunshine this afternoon, but I still like the emphasis on more sunshine than clouds. Still a chance, though, of a spotty shower or spotty thunder shower. The big deal, the heat, we're up to 92 and very, very humid. Tonight, clear, warm, humid, only 76 for the low. Wednesday, hottest of the week, hottest of the year so far. Sunny, hot, and humid, nothing more than a pop thunderstorm. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your air conditioner needs service anytime, day or night, Air Comfort Service has almost 60 years of experience and is family-owned and operated right here in St. Louis. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
And it probably means that the president is about to order something big in Iran be blown up. We know a couple days ago he was in the Oval Office and was asked if a red line for restarting a hot war against Iran would be U.S. troops being killed. And he said that would be a good reason to resume military operations. There were no U.S. troops killed here, but it seems like Iran was trying really, really hard to kill U.S. troops because they did shoot down an Apache helicopter. We've got the president's post. He says, I've just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. This is brand new. We had been told over the last couple of hours that an Apache was down and that an operational first for the U.S. military was using this drone, this water-based drone. We've got some info on it. It's a 24-foot-long ASV, autonomous surface vessel. They call it the U.S. Navy Corsair. It's got a 1,000-mile nautical range and 35-knot top speed. We don't know exactly how the drone contributed to the surface.
So you've got Peter Ducey giving a little information there on the lead up to the president's comments that Iran has shot down an Apache helicopter and the U.S. will have to respond. We're going to connect with Jim Talent here in just a minute and talk to him about his reaction to what is happening there in Iran. And, you know, Ryan, I keep talking about this. Ceasefire on, ceasefire off. Ceasefire on, ceasefire off. I do not think ceasefire means what you think it means.
Well, if you say ceasefire on for a little while, I guess you didn't have anything happen during that period of time.
Yeah.
Probably
okay.
better than nothing.
All right. Well, Senator Jim Talent can break it all down for us and get us a real crystal clear picture of what the heck is going on over there from the United States Senator from Missouri, chairman of the Reagan Institute's National Leadership Council. A lot of pressure here, Senator Talent. Thanks for joining us once again. What the heck is going on over there?
You mean pressure on me to break it all down for you? Well, I think the strategy behind this is pretty clear. I mean, the object of this whole exercise was either to eliminate or very substantially reduce Iran as a threat, and it has succeeded. I mean, first we had the military Operation Epic Fury. And then it's become pretty clear in the last few weeks, to me anyway, that the president is shifting the conflict with Iran into the economic domain. So we've had the blockade, which is really hurting them badly. And of course, Scott Bessent, he's been like a beast out doing all these things. I mean, the latest is sanctioning Novatex, which is their chief crypto exchange. So, in other words, cutting them off financially as well as blocking the exports. And it's pretty clear the president does not want to go back into the military domain. He's going to use economic tools either to cause them to collapse or to continue to constrain their capabilities. So that's the basics. Now, he's got to get the strait open. My preference would be just to force the strait. I think there's a lot of reasons he doesn't want to do that, and so
Why? What would those reasons be? Because it seems like that's kind of the key here on the home front, getting that strait reopened. What is it, the hesitation?
The one thing I know, and I don't think the White House has confirmed this publicly, is that the Gulf states are really worried about attacks on their infrastructure from Iran's remaining inventories. And that infrastructure could be pretty vital, not only from an oil standpoint, but also that's how they get water. They're desalinization plants. I think also it's just the strategy. In other words, the president doesn't want to have to go back into the kinetic domain. I mean, war is unpredictable. And the Operation Epic Fury it was the right thing at the right time. We had the disproportion of force. It was a tremendous overmatch. But I think he wants to get the region pacified now. I'm not saying that's the judgment I would make. He is seeing a lot of things I'm not seeing. So if he doesn't do that, then he needs a diplomatic solution. And what he's doing is, I mean, he's squeezing them with the blockade and offering them some kind of a carrot, and he knows how much they need money. So that carrot would be unfreezing assets. I'm not entirely comfortable with that, but I can live with that. What I don't want him to do is to lift sanctions just in return for opening the strait. Now, of course, he hasn't agreed to anything yet. Mm-hmm. So this deal may completely fall through. Now, and I've been busy this morning. I didn't know that they had shot down one of our helicopters. So not only is policy, but also Trump's temperament on this means that we're going to hit him back. I suspect it will be proportionate. I don't think he wants to mount that escalatory ladder, but I'd be very surprised if we don't hit them now.
Senator Talent, I'm going to ask you to crawl into the mind and the anticipation of this mission at its start. Do you think that at the beginning of this that they had in mind that the middle of June would look the way the middle of June is looking?
I possibly not, because I don't know what plans. We know that they wanted to use the Kurds to create an internal force to overthrow the regime. I don't know how much credibility they were putting in that. If they had a lot of confidence in that, then no, they did not, because what they figured was by now the regime would be up to its eyeballs in Kurds trying to hang on. And it made a lot of sense to try that. The Turks are really worried about the Kurds, though. I mean, they do not want a separate Kurdish nation, either de facto or certainly not de jure. So they ended up not pursuing that. And so I think the alternative was probably always then to really squeeze the regime economically. And if we do that consistently enough for long enough, the chances of collapse are very high. But in any event, they'll be constrained because they won't have any resources. How can they rebuild without resources, right?
Yeah.
And remember, that was Trump's policy in the first administration. Remember, maximum pressure? And he was starving the regime pretty good. So it makes sense that that's what he wants to go back to now. I again would encourage everybody, as much as we don't like paying the higher oil prices, this has been a substantial win for the United States. I mean, I am very pleased we did this. Now we want to get the region pacified, and then we'll move ahead. We'll be applying the economic power and the diplomatic leadership, and the Israelis will be policing the region to the extent it's needed. And they just did it, didn't they? They just attacked Iran pretty convincingly. Yeah. So you can see the future the president has in mind, right? A new equilibrium in the Middle East, backed up by American economic power and Israeli military power. And we're heading there. And the regime is just trying to focus now, I think, on survival. Mm. So this was a mistake. If they think that they're having difficulty getting what they want out of Trump, which is not surprising. And so they may have felt like, okay, we get kinetic again and we'll force his hand. And if that's what they thought, that was a mistake, because the president does not react well when American forces are struck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Senator Jim Talent speaking with us right now. Do you feel as though that the United States' intention and purpose and end goal here aligns still with Israel's?
Yes, strategically, there's no question. Now, tactically, the Israelis are dealing with Hezbollah now, which is good. I mean, we want them to deal with Hezbollah. I'm sure that Trump is fine with them.
Can I break in here real quick and ask you to specify for us folks who may not understand all the differences between Hezbollah and Hamas and Al-Qaeda and all of these things? Like, if Israel is now dealing with Hezbollah, why is that a good thing?
Because Hezbollah is one of Iran's proxies by which they were extending influence and power in the region. In other words, and Hezbollah really is more or less their puppet. Now, it was very strong enough to basically to control Lebanon. Lebanon was a Hezbollah satrap, and therefore an Iranian satrap before October 7th. Now Hezbollah has been reduced to a substantial guerrilla force, but it still has the authority to attack Israel, in the capability to attack Israel in the north. So what the Israelis are doing now, Hamas is in Gaza. Hamas has been destroyed as an organized military force, and they've lost half of the Gaza Strip. That's where the border peace is. The next step will be to disarm Hamas, which is either the border peace will do if it can get a security force capable of it, or the Israelis are going to do. So what the Israelis are now doing is pushing Hezbollah north of the Litani River and breaking down their entire military infrastructure in that area so they can protect northern Israel, which is fine with us. I mean, that's the role Israel's going to play going forward, is attacking the remnants of Iranian power in the region. But Trump doesn't like that now because it's gumming up a deal he's trying to get. So what you're seeing is a divergence in tactics. And I think he worked it out with Netanyahu, because Netanyahu said, look, they're sending missiles into the country. I can't just not do anything. I don't have any inside information, but it's pretty clear to me. And so Trump said, okay, but keep your response proportionate, which he did. And then Iran attacked Israel directly, and they basically made the same deal. And now Iran has said, oh, well, we're not going to send any more missiles into Israel. No, you're not, because Israel took out very important military infrastructure targets, and Iran's attacks had basically no effect other than to anger the Israelis.
We're speaking with Senator Jim Talent right now. The president has said that, we've seen reports that they have to verify that Iran was, in fact, responsible for taking down that Apache helicopter. And I see a lot of military people have been saying for a while, let's get back to the action part of this, that the businessman-like diplomatic talks aren't going to get done the job that needs to get done, because the Iranians, the people in charge, whoever they might be, are not going to sit down and listen to the reason and have some sort of light bulb moment where they go, okay, this is what's best for our future. It's just, it doesn't work that way, and they want to have more action involved. This helicopter happens. You've talked about measured response and in-kind response. Do you anticipate that we might wake up another morning and see that we just did some serious work in Iran? Are there still targets that are standing where we could have another mission the way we've seen a few times now, the United States attack Iran?
Well, I think they pretty much exhausted the original target list. But in doing that, they've now been watching what the Iranians have been doing or trying to do. So, for example, putting their air defenses back together. Israel hit those. So how does Iran do that? Well, okay, so they have a bunch of different radar sites. So we and the Israelis blew all them up. And now, so they're going through those sites and pulling out. It's like putting a car together from junk parts. So they're pulling out those parts and trying to reconstitute the air defenses. And that's the first thing that we hit. Actually, the Israelis hit it. So there's those targets. There's the economic targets, which we haven't hit to this point. We've been choking them economically a different way. But again, I think, I understand the strategy. This is one of these situations. If I was still in the Congress, I would tell the president, I'm not sure I would do it this way, but I understand what you're aiming at. we've changed the balance of power. We've reduced the Iranians to this point to a manageable problem with the possibility they're going to collapse in the future. So they pull out this Strait of Hormuz card. Okay, fine. This is a wasting asset, and Trump knows this. If he gets the strait open, the Saudis, the UAE, the others are still going to build all these pipelines. They're going to find all these other alternative ways of getting product to market, and they're going to do that pretty quickly. So every month, much less year that passes, Iran's leverage goes down because the Strait of Hormuz becomes less and less important. And I think within a couple of years, they're not going to have this as leverage anymore because nobody's really going to care if they close the strait. All it will mean is you can't get your product out, which is all going to be sanctioned anyway. So you can see where he's headed with this. In other words, he's worried that additional conflict could be unpredictable. The Gulf states get hit too hard. They could resent that. They could make it more difficult to go ahead with the Abraham Accords. And I just see where he's going. I pull out different statements he's made, like, for example, he said, okay, to the Saudis, he said, we now want you to join the Abraham Accords. In other words, he's not forcing the strait because they don't want him to. And so he's demanding something additional from them. He's using that as leverage over them. This is how Trump operates. Yeah. And by and large, it's very effective.
Multi-levels
yeah.
in his negotiation. It's longer term than just the here and now, which traditionally the political concern that, at least my estimation of when I watch politicians stick their finger in the wind and find out which way the political winds are blowing, those are often very unfortunate decisions that they end up concluding. Last question before we have to let you go, Senator Talent. If the president put his mind to it and it was the number one priority, the prevailing goal of our mission right now to open the Strait of Hormuz, how quickly could this United States government and its military open the Strait of Hormuz?
I think a couple of weeks is what I was always told. And by open, I mean, there are ships moving through there now. You've probably read about it. They turn off the transponders. I mean, I read 70 ships have gone through, so we're sort of doing this already. I think a couple of weeks until we create enough certainty that a large number of the freighters would be willing to move out, but it could be less than that. You know, CENTCOM's been talking with these shipping companies. They certainly were doing that before they started Operation Project Freedom. One more quick thing. You mentioned the politics, and that's, of course, important. These are all political actors, especially Netanyahu. He's got an election coming up in October, and I think this played into how he reacted to that conversation with Trump. And I think it's one of the reasons Trump said, okay, do what you have to do, because he knows, you know, Netanyahu can't just sit there and let the country get attacked. He wouldn't do it anyway, but especially when he's got an election in like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Complicated as always, but you help us understand it a lot more and understand the deep-seated history of what is all compiling in this particular conflict and how much of just probably a centuries of understanding of how the Middle East works. The president is challenging, it seems, all of it. Everything we've known and understand about the order of things there in the Middle East, the president is basically not accepting that as the necessary future and challenging it. So yeah. I'd imagine it would take maybe a few weeks or so to untangle all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the end of his term and probably sooner, I mean, it's already in a much better position. You notice everybody's wondering what we're going to do and what the Israelis are going to do, because we have the initiative in the Middle East. Now, Iran had it before all of this. And I'll say something else for Trump. He is the first president, I think, since Reagan, who understands all the tools of power that we have and uses them in a coordinated way. I mean, sometimes we can have an interview and I can tell you my criticisms of President Trump because people are going to think I support everything he does, and I don't. But he has a plan. He understands the kind of power we have at our disposal, what we can do and we can't do, and he uses it in an intelligent way and consistent way, which is why we're getting these good results.
Yeah. the right man at the right time, it seems.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, Senator Talent, you're our right man at the right time here on Tuesdays. We appreciate the time to spend with you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Annie. You're always so encouraging. I appreciate it.
Do my best. Talk to you soon. Senator Jim Talent, the chairman of the Reagan Institute's National Leadership Council, former United States Senator from Missouri, as well as a former congressman. Great to speak with him. The YouTube poll, we're asking you if it was appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden last night. I think a lot of you Spurs fans might think it was very appropriate. Spurs won. Let us know what you think on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll in the live chat of today's live broadcast, and we'll come back with some text message reaction to this poll from you in the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. The Retirement Advisory Group, we're having another party. It is an event. It's a retirement seminar. So I don't know how you party, but I think it's a party. I'm going to be there. Mark Cox and Mark Reardon will be there as well. And we'd love to meet you before you get the lowdown on how to create a worry-free retirement. Free information on how to create a worry-free retirement. I think your worry-free retirement starts there. Tuesday, June 16th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield. The event begins at 6:30 p.m., and I get there at 6. From 6 to 6:30, Mark Cox is there. Mark Reardon shows up as soon as he can as he runs out of the studio to join us. So come be a part of it. It costs you nothing, and what you can take away can potentially lead you into that worry-free retirement. How could you not go? I'd love to see you. Reserve your spot. Bring a friend, bring your spouse, bring your sister, bring your brother, whomever you want to come attend. Oh, did I mention free snacks? 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. You reach out to the Retirement Advisory Group. Tell them Annie sent you and you'd like to go to the seminar. They'll take it from there. All the details that you need to know online at retirementkey.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Take a seat.
How do you feel about the poll question, Ryan? Do you think it's appropriate for President Trump to attend the playoff game? Your options on the poll, if you were voting, is sure if he wants to, no, or you don't care.
I think it's fine sure if he wants to. The only problem is that I've heard that there were a lot, because of all the security issues, it created a really long wait for a lot of people, and it was pretty inconvenient for the other people there. So it's an interesting kind of like, yes, he has the right. Yes, he's the American president. He should be involved in these things if he wants to, no doubt about it. But it also kind of creates some ripple effect problems for everybody else.
I was at Busch Stadium when George W. Bush threw out the first pitch, and same kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Snipers on the top of the roof. And that would have been an old Bush, I believe. And I remember that it was happening, and I remember being like, I got to be at that game because I want to see the president.
Yeah. That's true.
You go through the opportunity. I mean, as a baseball game, which is a little bit different than Game 3 of the NBA playoffs, And I mean, even in that situation, he was a participant in the activity as opposed to Trump just sat, Trump wasn't like doing the tip off.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I would also watch that.
I would. So, I'm sure if he wants to, he's a president. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you can go to the Odyssey app and probably rewind or something like that, but you can check the podcast as well if you want to hear my longer form thoughts on this, that there are people in that stadium, that arena or whatever it's called, Madison Square Garden Arena.
I don't know.
There are people there that like President Trump. The owner invited President Trump. The NBA commissioner articulated that President Trump's support for the Knicks and the NBA is long standing. And if I'm President Trump and those people are saying, hey, yeah, you should come. You should be here. This is New York. You're New York. Do it. Then he should 100% take up that opportunity. If nobody is asking him to be there and he's forcing himself into it, I would have a different opinion of it. But when the New York Knicks owner is like, come sit by me at this game, you go. That's what I think.
Yeah. And I actually like that he's so involved in these American institutions, which is what they are. He's gone to the Army Navy. He's gone to the Super Bowl. He's in UFC. I think he's gone to NASCAR, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Daytona 500.
Okay. And so, yeah, go to a baseball game. Go to a basketball game. I'm glad that he's going places that he's not just going to get cheers. It's easy to do that, and he's not doing that.
President George W. Bush threw out the ceremonial first pitch at Busch Stadium on April 5th, 2004. So it was old Bush. I have a recollection of the snipers up on that iconic, circle
archways.
stadium. Yeah, it was just a gigantic stadium. The thing that New Bush has done to make every seat a better seat than if you were sitting in BFE. Do you know what that means, BFE?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I was going to say, I wonder how many people listening know what BFE is.
I can't say it.
I know, I can't either. It's why I abbreviated it. If you actually said what it mean, it would sound stupid. BFE is just kind
I think people need to start fully saying that instead of BFE.
No, I wouldn't say so.
As a society.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, the White House Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson speaks with us about that reconciliation bill that's going through. It's a big one. We'll be right back.
And a lot of us are finding that our air conditioners doesn't seem to be cooling on the cool in the morning, but by afternoon it never shuts off, and then while you're sleeping it'll start cooling the house down. You're wasting a lot of money on energy, on your electric. We know how high our electric bills are getting. If that's happening to you, call me. Come out there and take a look at it and get it fixed for you pronto. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. 314-293-2600. Again, easy number for Missouri and Illinois. 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Cards fans ready to dress for the occasion? Well, Friday, June 26th, as the Cardinals take on the Miami Marlins, you'll get a brand new all-over Prince shirt. But that's just the start. You'll also get the matching shorts, too. It's not just a shirt, but a full summer set that brings a tropical twist to game night and makes waves in the stands. Available in medium and XL while supplies last. More details and tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
See Brian Kilmeade live at the Factory on November 21st. You can get those tickets at 971talk.com. It is 1:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
AC Tune-Up.
From High Ridge to Pontoon Beach, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
We believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not give ICE another $70 billion blank check so they can unleash brutality on American citizens and violently target law-abiding immigrant communities. House Democrats will be a hard no on the reckless Republican budget reconciliation bill this week.
Okay, with respect, Speaker Jeffries, I reject the premise. What is ICE doing? You get bad information. Let's talk to the White House about this story here. A very important one. Abigail Jackson joining us, White House Deputy Press Secretary. Abigail, thank you for the time today. It's good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, of course. Great to be with you.
Fox News' Alex Miller says that Trump has scored a victory despite growing GOP divide after Senate passes the $70 billion ICE Border Patrol funding package. We've been talking about this for quite some time. It looks like the Senate was able to get it done.
Yes, this reconciliation package is a huge win for the president, but more importantly for the American people. As I'm sure you have covered closely, the Democrats have tried to obstruct the president's immigration enforcement agenda since day one. And this package ensures that not only is the funding getting through for ICE and CBP, but Democrats aren't going to be able to meddle with it for the next 3 years. That means no matter what Hakeem Jeffries wants to say to a microphone, to the TV cameras, the president won't be stopped, and we will continue pursuing this agenda of law and order.
We're speaking with Abigail Jackson, White House Deputy Press Secretary. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries is speaking there with a very broad stroke brush about the understanding of what ICE is doing in this country. The last election we had, a lot of people crossed over and voted for President Trump because he stood for safety and security, border security, and immigration reform in our country. And it seems as though that still retains its popularity among voters. What do you want the people who are listening to Hakeem Jeffries, who are thinking, you know what, the Democrats, the way they're articulating this, it doesn't really match my will and my desire for a secure country. Where's Hakeem Jeffries getting it so wrong?
I won't mince words. What Hakeem Jeffries said about ICE is a total lie. And in fact, it's dangerous, smearing the officers of ICE and CBP who are working very hard to enforce the law and arrest and remove dangerous criminal illegal aliens. And those lies have consequences. Look at the dangerous rioters that we saw in New Jersey over the weekend who were attacking ICE and CBP based off of this misinformed rhetoric from the Democrats. It's not just Hakeem, it's everyone in the Democrat Party who is lying about ICE in service of criminal illegal aliens. So the American people are absolutely right to question what he's saying and realize that his words don't match reality. And what Hakeem Jeffries is really focused on and what he's really talking about here is defunding law enforcement. This is the same playbook that Democrats have run for years and years. They're not tiring of it, but unfortunately for them, President Trump isn't going to fall for their games and their tricks. And like I said, this reconciliation package funding ICE and CBP for 3 years, preventing the Democrats from meddling with our agenda on this front in the future is a big win for the American people.
We're speaking with White House Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson. The president has been very resolute on this on his purpose here to secure the border. I hear him or his surrogates, maybe at a press briefing, frequently talk about how secure the border actually is and how it has affected the average deportee, the person who is being removed from this country. They're not people who have just crossed the border. They're people who have been here for quite some time. Do you see in your conversations with, people in Congress, are they still seeing support for this in their districts to push forward, to move forward? Or are you getting to the point where maybe you guys have done a good job? Okay, maybe we'll lay off of it a little bit.
Look, the border is secure, yes, and that is a testament to the work that President Trump did starting on day one. It was a huge priority to secure the border, but we shouldn't, become complacent now that we have secured the border. This isn't something that we can just secure once and done and then take our foot off the gas. This is something that requires work every single day. And that's why this funding package is so important, because the cartels and the criminals and the bad actors who want to exploit the gaps in our border and enter the country aren't just going to say, okay, the border's secure, I'm backing off. They're looking constantly for new ways to penetrate the border, to enter the country illegally. And so the men and women of CBP are faced with new challenges every single day. They are working day and night to secure the border. And even though it's not in the news as much anymore, because we don't have the visuals we did during the Biden administration of thousands of illegal aliens pouring across the border, it is still a fight for them every day, and they're doing excellent work. They have secured the border, but we need to continue supporting them to make sure that this isn't just a short-term fix. This needs to be a long-term permanent solution.
One of the things that I have been paying a lot of attention to today certainly is the Southern Poverty Law Center hearing on Capitol Hill, and I'm reminded of this repulsive evidence of how the Southern Poverty Law Center had to invest in stoking fire behind hate, investing in the type of things that they pretended to fight against. They had to inflame it a little bit so that it would get more attention. They get more dollars. They get more donations, specifically with ICE and the Border Patrol, and specifically Delaney Hall there in New Jersey. We're seeing a lot of reports that there's a lot of AstroTurf behind the protests that are taking place there. And I'm constantly asking myself, as somebody who's trying to look at what's really going on, I talk to the people who listen to the station here in the bi-state region in St. Louis, and I'm wondering, how real are these issues? And when we see the types of protests that are out there, why are they being funded? Why is this type of hatred being stoked? If it's really an issue for Hakeem Jeffries, the hopeful speaker, I should say, the minority leader, if what he's talking about is real, why so much manufactured outrage placed specifically in different places throughout the country in order to try to get the attention there? Why are they having to invest in it that way?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that comparison. And as you know, this is something the Trump administration takes very seriously, something President Trump takes very seriously. Last year, he hosted an Antifa roundtable at the White House to talk about these sorts of protests and what we're doing to look into them and see who's funding them and the money that trace the money that is funding them. So overall, big picture, this is something the administration takes very seriously. But when you see Hakeem Jeffries and other Democrats spreading these lies, and you see then these protests that seemingly crop up overnight with, might I say, some of the same folks are present at them around the country, you really have to ask yourselves how organic this is. And the answer is it's not organic at all, because the majority of the American people want safe communities. They want criminal illegal aliens removed from their streets, and they are appreciative for the work the Trump administration is doing. So that is what we're focused on, not these rabble-rousers, these paid protesters, and these Democrat talking points that are being shipped out around the country.
We're speaking with Abigail Jackson, White House Deputy Press Secretary. Before we let you go, last night the president made a trip to New York City to cheer for what we have the people on the left, and they're like, he doesn't know anything about the Knicks. It's like Donald Trump was New York City before he was the president of the United States. Just your thoughts on that trip. Of course, he got some booze. The booze seemed to make him work even harder, honestly, when he goes places like that. Some cheers as well. Your thoughts on the conclusion of his trip to Madison Square Garden to cheer on the Knicks?
The president is and will always be a New Yorker at heart. He is a huge sports fan. And I think the American people see that in everything he does, whether it's going to the Knicks game or the big UFC fight that's going to be hosted here at the White House in the coming days. And he loves to have fun and make sure the American people know that he is celebrating these major cultural milestones right along with them. You know, he is focused on keeping the country safe and delivering wins for the American people. But he also knows how to take a moment and step back and say, this is what the American people love. This is what I love. I'm just like you. And I think that's why the American people love him so much.
Yeah, it's, in my opinion, one of the most powerful weapons that the conservative movement has right now is the willingness to boldly have fun. It's very intimidating for people who hate fun. And I love to see the president out there unfettered in his willingness to do that. Abigail Jackson, thank you for the time today. It's a pleasure to have you back on the show. We hope you'll come back soon.
Of course. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you as well. Abigail Jackson is the White House Deputy Press Secretary. Follow her on X at ATJackson47. And Abigail Marone, good to have her with us there on the air and on the stream. Good to speak with Abigail. The YouTube poll, we're asking you your thoughts if it's appropriate for the president to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden. Sure, if he wants to. No, or you do not care. You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote in the live chat poll. And we'd love to get your thoughts, comments there, as well as the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797. Also, while you got that text line open, send us your thoughts on the NBA playoff visit by President Trump. But we do have X's and Y's coming up at 2:30, and that's where we ask questions about the differences between boys and girls. Two sexes, lots of questions. You can text them to us. Just text capital XY and then your thoughts, what you want Ryan to read. He's the one who gets to bring them into the conversation. 2314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Brian Kilmeade. You know, I always have a great time when I visit you guys, and I'm coming back this November. So join me, Brian Kilmeade, by getting tickets for the show at The Factory at 971talk.com/events.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now's the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
The Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale are coming to the Family Arena for one magical night of country and Christmas, December 17th. It's the Gatlin Brothers Farewell Tour, and Crystal Gale is joining them to celebrate an evening of country's greatest hits and beautiful Christmas music. Don't miss the Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale. Tickets are available at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster.
One of rock's legendary voices, the original voice of Foreigner, Lou Gramm, The Release Tour. Saturday, October 10th, the Family Arena with special guest John Waite. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena and Ticketmaster. Don't miss the original voice of Foreigner. Lou Gramm in concert. New album released coming March 27th.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Ryan, what's your default mood when you're just at baseline Ryan? Are you content?
No.
What are you?
I am usually hungry.
Are you hangry?
No, not hangry.
Do you get hangry?
It's going to take a lot for me to get hangry because I eat a lot. So
standard
food around. It's
baseline
America.
Ryan mood is hungry? I wouldn't even really consider hungry a mood. Maybe a state.
Okay, yeah, that's my state. Yeah.
Brad? What's Ryan's baseline mood?
Oh, man.
You can talk about yours.
I was going to say it's
Unless
not
you got
aloof.
something really great.
It's not aloof, but it's kind of like the unaware, aloof kind of thing where it's like he looks like he's always in a state of bliss. I'll walk past his office and he'll be yes. I will
he
walk
isn't
past.
Hungry, then.
I will walk past his office. And he'll be working on something on the computer, and he just looks over and gives me the biggest crap-eating grin you've ever seen, and then goes back to typing on his computer.
Well, he said he was hungry. Was he eating crap?
Maybe.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
I'm sure it was crap as far as RFK is concerned.
I mean, we joke around a lot. I do not eat feces, though. Okay. I'll make sure that that's clear.
Are you... yeah, can we mark
on to the next
topic? We mark the
topic.
tape. Just keep it for, court.
Can you imagine answering that?
Mr. Range, have you ever observed Mr. Wiggins?
Oh, my gosh. That reminds me. I got to pull something up
You guys
from the
seem
hearing.
to talk about quite a few things on that show there. You ever talk about eating feces?
Who are you being here?
That's a Southern lawyer.
Yeah. That
who's
guy
examining me.
That guy has that rope tie.
Yeah, he's cross-examining
in
me.
a white
I think you're talking about Robert C. Cahaley.
Made a lot of claims in this courtroom.
I love
One of them is
talking
that
to
you have never eaten human feces. Can we check the tape, please, on that?
It looks to have been misplaced. It's in a secret room burn bag. What's your baseline mood, Brad?
Generally, it's happy. It's kind of just a general happy, relaxed mood. Lately, it's been less than that, but generally, it's a relaxed.
Does
mood.
it take a lot to get you guys off your mood? I would say that my general mood is if I'm just at a state of, don't have people asking me for things or whatever. I get to this point where this is so weird, and this is so meta. I was thinking about it because my state is to think about things that I don't get to think about.
What?
I know. Somebody out there, please tell me you understand what I'm talking
There's
about.
an entire world of things out there that you don't have to think about.
I know that, but so much of my brain capacity is taken up by people who need things from me, whether they're little and they need to go potty, or they're big like you and they need to go potty, and I need to...
Yeah.
Make sure you don't eat anything.
If they need a snack, it could be at home, it could be at work. I have to manifest these things into existence for other people.
It's almost 2 o'clock.
It's absolutely true.
I go to my son's baseball games now, and they're far away in the land of St. Peter's.
It is far from where you are. It's not far from where some people listening are.
It's a day trip for me, and I'm here for it. The girls don't necessarily want to drive all the way out there to sit and watch another baseball game, but my husband and I want nothing more than to go watch our kids play in some sports ball event. So my husband and I, for his summer league, the kids come to the school baseball games and all the other things that we do. We try to go as a family to everything we can. But when we're going away, if we're going to Warrenton, if we're going to St. Charles, St. Peter's, Fenton, whatever it might be, it's a lot of times just my husband and me, and that allows my husband to be fully engrossed in the baseball game. And he and I sit together, but he gets to totally lock in on, that's probably I'm going to speak for him right now, but I think his most blissful state of mind is just being able to sit and watch his kids play something without having to do a billion other things. Because we've coached so much that we haven't gotten to do that a lot because we're, again, an active participant in it. And so I've had recently the opportunity to go to some of these games where the rest of my kids aren't there, and I'm just sitting there with time.
Yeah.
And I realized that there is a whole host of things that I'd like to think about that you can't...
Like it's a hobby?
Yes! And I'm like, I started thinking about the fact that I like to think. And I thought, I need some therapy.
Yeah, that's.
But it makes me happy. I can think about crazy things. And then what I do, because I've talked about my earbuds, I have Galaxy Pro 3 earbuds. Maybe. I don't know. I bought them refurbed. I was going to buy them refurbished, so I wanted to get the very best model that was out there, but refurbished, because it takes off 40 to 50% of the price. You can go on Amazon and find your thing and get it refurbed. And I have these, and now I have this new interest in artificial intelligence. And I know a lot of people are like, AI stops people from thinking, and it's actually doing the opposite for me, because I just have all these questions, and now I have somebody to talk to.
Oh, my gosh.
And so I have my earbud in my ear, sitting kind of hopefully away from people at a baseball game, and I'm watching baseball, because I have to do a minimum 2 things at one time. Watching baseball. And I have a whole deep dive on the Southern Poverty Law Center's Action Fund and where they've actually applied money. Where does the money that comes into the Southern Poverty Law Center go? Well, the SPLC is a 501c3. They can't make political contributions, but they have the SPLC Action Fund, which is a 501c4, whatever. I don't know if I'm saying those right. Grok knows. And so I'm asking all of these things, and every time I get an answer, I now have 10 more questions about the specific thing. And it might be that type of thing that I'm trying to learn about, or it could be about something, it could be about a movie, and I just want to know, like, oh, and what other movies was this actor in? Like, I just get to think about things.
So let me assess here. You're most of the time operating at functional brain capacity. And this is a break for you.
Yes.
Where you get to fill it up with things that aren't necessities,
I get to
but
wonder.
are choices.
I get to wonder about things. And it's not so much that I don't get to wonder about things all the time, but I get to exercise the wonder and answer questions that are just my own, that are for nobody else's purposes. It's just, I just wonder about things, and I want to learn more about things. And so I get to engage in it. And, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But when you've got kids, if the kids are at the baseball game, I am negotiating how many innings I can get through before I have to crack the concession stand fund open.
Oh, yeah.
Ew, if we could get to the 4th or 5th inning, then I could get away with spending minimal.
Yeah.
Maybe we can squeeze it out to the end, because we'll go get a 2 for $25 at Applebee's afterwards.
Now, you're spending that at the concession stand anyway.
So if I can get to Applebee's, then that's a financial win.
Here's 3 chicken strips. Give me $11.
Our chicken strips, I think, are $5.
At your concession stand?
Yes, you should come sometime for dinner.
And I'm not going to St. Peter's for that.
No, those are the summer league. So Charlie's in 2 leagues. Those are the summer rec league games. And I will probably be the one making them for you. We have Chick-fil-A sauce. No extra charge.
How big are they?
Gigantic. They're the best chicken finger. Like, I will buy them for myself and eat them for dinner because they're good. We actually buy the same ones at home.
Do they have heavy crusted breading, or they are that thin breading?
Good crust.
If they're heavy crusted breading, I'll buy them. If they're that thin stuff, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
it's like they're putting a fish fillet.
Dusted.
You're paying for the crisp.
Yeah. Oh, you're paying for texture for sure, and all white meat. Let's be honest.
See, I could sit in the concession stand when I'm working the concession stand and nobody's up there, and I would think about the opportunities that exist in chicken tender land.
I just want to point out that the way this segment started was asking me what my state was.
Yeah, and you said hungry.
Where are we at now? Talking about chicken strips.
I'm telling you where you're getting dinner now. I'll tell you when the next
That's right.
the next rec league ball game is, and you can come. I do have a dream. I have a dream. It's not as big as the original.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, let's hear it and judge.
I have a dream that one day you and Ethan come do play-by-play in color for one of my son's baseball games.
Oh, I'm not doing play-by-play.
No, you're the color guy. Trust
Thank
me.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Are you kidding me?
But what do I get out of it? Just chicken strips?
Yeah, for $5.
Okay. Oh, I still have to pay? Wait, I was going to do it.
Man, Ryan.
Just for the meal, but...
It's a charity.
Man.
Ethan says he's in. Oh, my gosh. You guys could... Seriously, I really think that if we created like they're the Summer Knights. That's the name of the team, because they're the Knights during the school year, the Summer Knights. If you guys created a YouTube channel of play-by-play in color for this rec ball team, I think it could be very lucrative.
Oh, my gosh. It would be great.
All right, I'll do it.
Chicken fingers?
But
I'll put an extra chicken finger in your boat.
No, I got to ask a little higher, and then we can negotiate. I'm going to start
Guys?
at $150,000.
Okay, you're
And
going to
you
donate
start
that
in
to
a
the
chicken
program.
strips.
I think that they'll accept it.
No. I think that you're putting words in my mouth when I need to be putting food
We
in my
could
mouth.
cut it down to like $100,000, and we'll let you do color.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donation.
Nope.
X's and Y's. Text us your questions, 314-241-9797. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair can help you with all of your foundation repair needs. If you want to learn more about them, do a little scoping out, which is certainly what I would do before I invited someone to my home to look at the wet basement issue that continues to plague. Every time you get a rain forecast, you clench up a little bit. Call Home Shield Foundation Repair out to your home before that next rain sets in at 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. And do me a favor, when you call Home Shield Foundation Repair, mention that you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show on 97.1. You can talk to Matt Hayes. You can work with Home Shield Foundation Repair to find out an agreeable time for them to come look at what you're dealing with, and he will tell you how they will go above and beyond to restore your basement to the appropriate level of safety and security and solid, waterproof, lifetime warranty type of stuff. 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises. Just a competitive, fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. They're the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Call 314-499-2020. That's 499-2020 or GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com. That's GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com.
KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
Just hours after getting the murder case against Carmelo Anthony, the now 19-year-old who admits stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a confrontation at a high school track meet last year. But Anthony claims self-defense. Prosecutors say he provoked the confrontation. The judge did allow the jury to consider a lesser charge of manslaughter. There is no word yet on what the verdict is. The man accused of murdering a Ukrainian refugee on a train in North Carolina is again found to be not able to stand trial, this time in federal court.
After multiple outbursts in a federal courtroom, the judge found DeCarlos Brown Jr. incompetent to stand trial for the murder of Irina Zarutska. However, doctors say they believe his competency can be restored, and so the judge ordered Brown to be treated and hospitalized and will reconsider his status in 4 months. North Carolina U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson says he's hopeful one day Brown will stand trial, and Zarutska's family said after the hearing in a statement that this finding was not unexpected, but that they are also hopeful for an eventual trial. Brown was already found incompetent in state court. He's accused of randomly stabbing the 23-year-old to death on the Blue Line light rail train in Charlotte last August.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. President Trump says the U.S. must respond to the downing of a U.S. Army helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, posting that the U.S. military informed him Iran shot down the helicopter.
We know a couple days ago he was in the Oval Office and was asked if a red line for restarting a hot war against Iran would be U.S. troops being killed. And he said that would be a good reason to resume military operations. There were no U.S. troops killed here, but it seems like Iran was trying really, really hard to kill U.S. troops because they did shoot down an Apache helicopter.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. The 2 U.S. crew members are safe, rescued by a sea drone. America is listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
A mix of clouds and sunshine this afternoon, but I still like the emphasis on more sunshine than clouds. Still a chance, though, of a spotty shower or spotty thunder shower. The big deal, the heat, we're up to 92 and very, very humid. Tonight, clear, warm, humid, only 76 for the low. Wednesday, hottest of the week, hottest of the year so far. Sunny, hot, and humid, nothing more than a pop thunderstorm. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Carmelo Anthony, I'll get that right one of these times, trial has culminated as the jury has reached a verdict. They haven't announced what the verdict is, but there are some very heated conversations taking place outside of the courthouse right now. Fox News reports earlier, let's see, this is not too long ago. This is pretty fresh. Carmelo Anthony jury reaches verdict in murder trial in Texas track meet stabbing. If you don't remember, this is a white boy and a black boy at a track meet where there was conflict between the two of them, and it resulted in Carmelo stabbing and killing this young boy at this his name's Austin Metcalf, at this high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. The verdict, they're expecting the verdict to be read right now, but there's all these people outside the courthouse, and they've got cameras. Fox News has cameras out there, and you can see these people kind of going at each other. It's racially divided, and the Fox News cameras were on these two individuals. A white man, 70 years old?
Yeah, that's fair.
Guessing 70 years old. He's in a red, white, and blue American flag kind of shirt.
Collared American flag shirt.
And he is inches face-to-face having an argument with a black man, and you can't hear anything they're saying. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know what they're advocating for. I mean, you can surmise a lot of things, but you could be wrong about a lot of what you assume. But here's the thing. They're yelling at each other back and forth, and there's an entire circle of people surrounding them. They are nearly chest to chest. They're not a comfortable 3 feet away from each other having a discussion. They're fighting with words, and the way the camera was set up and the way you were looking at these two people going nose to nose about whatever it is they're arguing about, right between them is a girl who looks to me to be about 5 years old. She's got a phone held up as if it's a camera. She is 6 feet away from this argument. Why is that child there?
Yeah, and by the way,
get that child away from there.
And not presuming anything about which side she's on or anything. We actually have no idea. She looked like she may be white or
she was
maybe
white, yeah.
Latino or something like that. So it's not as if we're going, oh, she's on one side. We have no idea. No idea. You're just saying she's a little girl.
As articulated by what I just said there, you've got these two people fighting, and you have a child, of which I didn't identify anything about other than it was a little girl, probably 5 years old, and she's videoing this thing, standing in front of an adult who I would presume to be her caretaker, maybe her mother or whatever. What is that child learning? We can't hear the words. You can sit and watch this take place and think that you understand what one man, what's the white guy saying? What's the black guy saying? A lot of people will assume that they know everything that conversation was about. But that little girl is standing right there 6 feet away, potentially in the middle of something that could turn physical on a dime, which is why the entire jury trial is taking place right now, because at a track meet of all places, there was a conflict that turned into a stabbing that turned into the lives being lost of Austin Metcalf at the hands of Carmelo Anthony. Get that kid out of there. You want to teach your kid about what's going on there, however you intend to teach that child. I don't know anything about that family, don't know anything about why they are out there. Don't do it right there. Get these kids out of there. It's like in our conversation with the White House in the 1 o'clock hour, the Delaney Hall protests and over the ICE facility that is there, they've got facial recognition evidence that a lot of these protesters at Delaney Hall in New Jersey, they were in Minnesota, they were in all these places. They go from place to place to place. Maybe, just for a second, can we just for a second pay attention to what's happening with the Southern Poverty Law Center and the hearing that was taking place earlier today, if you were able to listen to any of that. What is the issue at hand at the Southern why is the Southern Poverty Law Center in hot water right now? There's some things that you need to understand about what's taking place in our country right now, and you need to really compare notes with what you've been told, what you've been asked to do for the last 15 years of your life. When you've been told that you need to be public about where you stand on some issues, you need to be out there. Everyone needs to know, and you need to say it. And you need to say it over and over and over again. You say it one time, that's not enough. You're going to have to repeat yourself over and over and over again, because hate is everywhere. Hate is back. I heard this morning in this Southern Poverty Law Center. I don't know who the representative was because I was listening to it, but they were talking about how white supremacy has never been hotter than it is right now. And I'm like, what world are you living in? And then I realized it's a world that is being manufactured, created by folks at the Southern Poverty Law Center. And the individuals who have over time donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center, probably trying to fight back against hate. Do you know what you were investing in? Can you please turn my sound on? It's on. Okay, it's not playing. When you see that they funded the Charlottesville rally, Unite the Right. You know who had to unite the right in order to ensure that people could see what the right was about? The left had to pay for racist acts. The left had to fund materials to burn a cross. The left had to fund, the Southern Poverty Law Center had to fund this gathering of people to unite the left because they needed a boogeyman, because the left needed to be reminded of their victimhood, and they needed to be pinched. They needed to be tweaked The people who have these hearts for compassion, the people who are incredibly loving, heart on your sleeve folks, you know what? Things are going maybe a little bit too progressive. Maybe we worked our way out of some of the greatest sins that our country has faced. Maybe we've gotten past this to the point where the problem is starting to correct itself because we've moved in the right direction. It's not lucrative. It's not good enough to just fight against the hate that already exists. We're going to need to level it up here. And we're going to take the donors of good people who want to fight against hate. That is a virtuous thing, who want to combat divisive, racist behavior that does exist in the world. But we're going to have to turn up the volume. We're going to have to turn up the heat on this because we need to fight more. This is the thing that you need to understand about the Southern Poverty Law Center that is so absolutely deplorable and evil. A lot of what you've heard in the hearing today, if you listen to it, was about the good work that the Southern Poverty Law Center has done. Alveda King is there at that hearing, and she was talking about some of the good work that the Southern Poverty Law Center has engaged in. She was talking about how we need to get back to where we're actually fighting against the hate that exists instead of actually funding it so that we can fundraise more. This is the absolute bottom line point that you need to understand about what has been exposed in the charges against the Southern Poverty Law Center. They have operated under the guise of fighting and combating hate. That's what they've sold the American people and whomever else has donated to their cause. But apparently, they were so good at their job that they ran out of hate to trump up enough to keep the dollars rolling in. So they funded it. So they invested in it. And they didn't invest in it to try to combat it. They invested in it so that they could gain more power. They invested it in the Unite the Right rally. Charlottesville is also often how it's referred to. They invested in publicizing hate that didn't exist in a way that they could monetize. They had to amplify it because if you look at the donations that came in after Charlottesville, after the Unite the Right rally, if you look at the money that they made off of that, that's what it was always about. It's not about putting themselves out of business because they've fought back against all the hate and all the world and all the land, and they've really made such an important change in the way that we treat one another and the way that people are reflected as equals. That's not what it was about. It's about money. It's about marginalizing people who think differently than they do because that equates power. They used the goodwill, the good hearts, the compassion, the sympathy, the empathy of American dollars donated to their cause. They used it so that they could manufacture something that didn't exist, at least not to the extent that they needed it to, so that they could gain power and influence. That's corrupt. It's corrupt to the core. And thank God that this Justice Department is calling it out, exposing it, and ensuring that if you want to donate to the Southern Poverty Law Center, just ask Alveda King. They've done good in their time, but that's not what they stand for, not on the whole, and they've been exposed. And there are more groups out there, like the Southern Poverty Law Center, that are manipulating the American people with the help of the very, very eager media that is waning in its power as well. There are good-willed people who've been trapped up in this scam that is the Southern Poverty Law Center. They deserve answers. That's who I want to get answers the most, is those people who are lied to and deceived because they thought that they were doing something good. And it turns out that they were funding hate, the very hate that they were looking to donate to combat. I hope they get to the bottom of it. Ethan, Sports and Local next here on the Annie Frey Show. Don't go away. Point Pest Control. Point with an E. PointPestControl.com. 636-798-0023. When the pests start creeping into your home, I want you to reach out to Point Pest Control at 636-798-0023. That's 636-798-0023, and invite them to get rid of those pests that are taking over. One pest is one too many, but oftentimes when you find one, gosh, I don't even like to know the facts. If you see one spider, that means don't even finish a sentence. Just means call Point Pest Control. That's what it means in my house. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. Consider becoming a Premier Service Plan subscriber. That's what we are in the Frey House. If you mention Annie Frey when you call 636-798-0023, you can receive a 10% discount on top of whatever other specials that they have going on right now. But you got to drop the Annie Frey name in there. Ants, spiders, crickets, mice, and more. Termites even. Reach out to Point Pest Control in Missouri, in Illinois alike. They're ready to take your call. Mention Annie at 636-798-0023. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
Want to hear a shocking statistic? Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. Don't believe it? Google it. And that doesn't count serious injuries like birth injuries to perfectly healthy children. All doctors wear white jackets, but it doesn't make them all the same. Most medical errors are committed by the same quacks over and over again. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Many hospitals looking for more profits are forcing doctors and their groups to be employees of the hospital or be forced out of their system. It's a troubling trend in medicine. People make mistakes, but medical mistakes are huge and often forever. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury or a misdiagnosis or mistake led to a loved one's death or injury, let our team of medical malpractice lawyers examine your case for free. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. This segment of The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by All Financial.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
And now, Ethan reads the news in a different language.
I'm pumped.
All right, this is going to be great.
Yes, let's do it.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Hola.
¿Está bien? Football.
Sí. Most of my 4 years of Spanish in high school has gone out the window. Senora Wood would be very disappointed in me. I'm sorry, Senora. She was my favorite teacher in high school.
Yeah?
Senora Wood, yep. And yeah, she would probably not be very happy with me that all that Spanish knowledge has gone out the door.
Do you think she'd be happy for you for like other things you've accomplished in your life, or just
I think so.
your Spanish acumen is lacking?
No, I think so.
Would she be proud of your apartment?
Would she be my apartment? She would probably be a little bit surprised that it's as small as it is, but you know, it's
Maybe
fine.
if you'd have learned Spanish, you'd have made it a little further.
Maybe.
Sports
maybe.
mogul? Now do German.
I love that when Annie's just like ready to get into this, like she's ready to transition
Steve tells me to do these things.
Out of banter about the intro to, okay, you need to start talking now.
Yeah,
We've hit that point.
I've been instructed.
Yes,
just so you
ma'am.
know.
Yes, Mr. Moore. Got
Sports
it.
and local?
Sports and local.
No,
right.
you can't do
right.
it. It's my job.
Oh.
And you're the worst. You're the problem.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Ethan is the problem.
Ethan?
It has been warm out today. It is going to continue to
Would you
be
say
warm
it
out
was
this week.
Hot.
We have hit the first hot stretch of weather for the summer in St. Louis. The high today, 93 degrees. Tomorrow, 95. 94 on Thursday. We've officially gotten to St. Louis heat. It's a little bit depressing.
Love it.
You like it?
Oh, yes.
I've
Let's
loved
go.
what we've had the past 3 to 4 weeks.
86
where it's
degrees, perfect temp.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
86
that's
degrees.
a little high, but
and a breeze.
okay, I can live with that. But it's going to be hotter than that. So,
oh, boo-hoo.
You're being mean to me.
I'm with you.
I don't really
Ethan. I don't like
appreciate
any of it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Don't
For
suck
once,
up.
Ryan and I are on the same page.
Only thing I like about summer is if you stand outside for just a little bit, you do glisten.
Really?
Nobody calls it
I was
glistening.
wondering
when
what
you
was
do
up
it,
with
Ryan.
your skin lately.
Sweat.
Yeah, I've been sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because I was fighting off a pretty bad infection.
Gotcha. Different
Yeah.
things. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Sports and local?
The pneumonia glow. Yes. That could be a T-shirt. It's sports and local with a question mark. Ethan, and then the back it just says Ethan.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Ethan.
Sports and local. At the invitation of Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, Ollie Marmol will be joining the coaching staff for the National League in the All-Star Game in July in Philadelphia.
Huge.
It will be Marmol's first trip to an All-Star Game. Roberts, who will again lead the NL as the manager of the defending World Series champions, approached Marmol about being on the staff when his team was in St. Louis.
How many do they get? Like 15 coaches?
They get a lot of coaches. And this has to be relatively new because the last couple of times that the Cardinals have done this, where their coaching staff represented the National League, was in 2012 and 2014.
Yeah.
And it was traditionally the team that wins the pennant the next season, their coaching staff is the one that is the coaching staff for the All-Star Game. So Mike Matheny did it in 2012 and 2014, even though Tony La Russa won in 2011, he retired. So this has to be relatively new, and it is the first time that, like I said, any Cardinals coach will be on the staff since 2014 when it was in Minnesota. So this is a pretty cool thing, and I got to say, you got to give Ollie Marmol his kudos. He has to be near the top when it comes to odds for National League Manager of the Year. The way in which that he has been able to manage this Cardinals team with what the expectations were going into the season and what they're doing. Major kudos to Ollie Marmol. Couple of things to know going into this upcoming series. Cardinals versus Mets, which gets started tonight. There'll be a change in center field. Victor Scott II has been optioned to AAA. Nathan Church, coming off of the injured list, will be the starting center fielder for the time being until if there gets to a point where they are impressed enough with what Scott is doing in Memphis that he is able to take that spot back over. But he has had a very rough season batting below 200. And this week, the Cardinals will be jumping from a 5-man starting rotation to a 6-man starting rotation, and Hunter Dobbins will be joining the rotation. He was acquired this offseason in one of the trades with the Red Sox. I believe he was a part of the Wilson Contreras trade. So if you've seen him a couple of times the last few weeks, he's come out of the bullpen, but he will be a part of the starting rotation this upcoming week. So Cardinals versus Mets for a 3-game series in Queens gets started tonight.
Can I interject?
You are welcome to
Thank
interject.
you for permission. Ryan, besides the obvious, what's the one thing about you that you would change the most?
That I would change?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the obvious.
What?
Tell me what the obvious
This is sports and local.
No, it's
because
not.
the Cardinals just did a social media video like this. And you know how the Cardinals like ask the players questions when they're walking off the field or whatever?
Yeah.
They asked all the questions. Besides the obvious, what's the thing that you would change the most about yourself? and the results of the video are super. There's a lot of people are like, hey. And I used to see these Cardinals baseball players. And like May's like, what, you mean like my red hair? So just watching several people do that. And I wanted to ask you that question.
It's a good question.
But go to the Cardinals social media, probably Instagram or Facebook is where I saw it.
All their socials.
Yeah, and watch that video.
If
And then go find somebody who has a really good sense of humor in your life and be like, besides the obvious, you got to say it with a straight face, which I did not do because I couldn't pull it off.
If I were to change anything about Ryan, I would give him a more muscular neck.
I'm got just the thing.
I would accept
like that. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just like
AI
that.
Ryan is not looking too bad.
No.
Straighten that jawline a little bit.
Hubba.
Yeah, I look pretty good when
That is
you
a man's
change my
man
face.
right there.
Ryan, you are to Ethan what Nate Foy is to you.
I would say that.
AI Ryan.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, not
let's
real
make
Ryan.
this clear here. Those are two very, very different things.
Go ahead and answer that question, though. Besides the obvious, what would you change about yourself?
I would get rid of my double chin. I hate my chin.
I've never.
I would make myself
triple?
more of a skinny queen in the facial area.
I would never have thought of you having a double chin.
I wouldn't either.
Looking
But
at
now
it.
that
Stop
you say
looking
it.
at it. Now you're looking at it.
But now
Stop.
that you mention it.
Look at it.
AI, add chins to Ethan.
Will somebody go in and ask? Ryan? Will you go on video and just go into Steve's office and ask him that question on video?
Into our boss's office?
Yes.
And ask him if he'll add chins to Ethan in AI?
The
No,
thumbnail
it's-
tomorrow is going to have like 6 chins on me.
Worthy of clarification. Ask him besides the obvious.
Oh.
I'm glad we
Okay.
clarified that on air because that could have gotten out of hand.
Steve.
About the double chins.
Steve, you notice that Ethan has double chins and he wants more? Make it happen.
Ethan.
And then leave.
Sports and local.
Big announcement for sports in St. Louis, Olympic related, was announced this past weekend. St. Louis will be hosting the 2028 U.S. Olympic Marathon Team Trials. Did you guys see this?
No.
This event is expected to draw thousands of visitors and showcase the city on a national stage. The announcement was celebrated last Thursday at Francis Olympic Field on the campus of Washington University in St. Louis, a venue with deep Olympic roots. Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Dawn Harper-Nelson joined local leaders and running advocates to mark the location. The marathon trials course will begin at Francis Olympic Field and wind through some of the city's most recognizable landmarks, including Forest Park, the Gateway Arch, Busch Stadium, before finishing at Energizer Park. An estimated 100,000 spectators are expected to attend the event, creating what organizers believe will be one of the largest sporting events in the region's recent history.
Cool. I hope the Go Egg Green is all applied by then.
I think. Oh yeah, true. Yes, I'm super excited about this. This is going to be pretty cool. I believe the number is 1,000 runners.
Wow.
Or close to. Maybe it's 800.
Are you going to be one of them?
I am not going to be one of them. Maybe that would help fix
with
the
double
chin problem.
I didn't know. I didn't know if it was okay to talk about.
According to USA Track and Field, the event is expected to generate an estimated $13.5 million of economic impact for the St. Louis region.
What will we waste that on?
Through tourism, hospitality, and visitor spending. What will we waste that on? Ryan?
AI.
It's just saying things now. I don't know. Hopefully we can reinvest it in a smart way.
Late March of 2028 is when this is
Oh, so you have time to train,
going to
Ryan.
be occurring.
Okay. I am in.
Okay.
With conviction.
X's and Y's next on the Annie Frey Show. Send us your questions about boys or girls. Are you sticking around, Ethan? You got work to do. As if this
TBD.
isn't work.
And which side are you on?
I gotta.
Are you going to answer for? You want
Boys
to
or
come in
girls?
and talk for women or men?
TBD.
That's all right. You can do that now. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Send us your texts. They come to Ryan, and he gets to pick them. So do your best. X's and Y's next. AirComfortService.com, 314-513-0091. I talk a lot about the HVAC system that they have put into my home, but I also want to talk to you business owners or office managers. You know that the comfort zone is not comforting in the zone in the office, and it needs to get looked at. Maybe you've had the HVAC system, the AC, looked at, and you're looking for a second opinion. If you call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091, ask Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation to give you that free second opinion on a heat exchanger, compressor repairs. They have residential and commercial heating and cooling service experiences for over 60 years. Almost 60 years. They are a go-to for so many businesses in the St. Louis region. Also, residentially, of course, as well. They have a whole heap of awards that they have achieved. You can look at the reviews from people that are unlike me online, but you can hear me talk about their services in my home as well, and I give them 5 stars every single time. Reach out to them for your needs in your commercial business, at home, 314-513-0091. And tell them Annie sent you online at aircomfortservice.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisor Group, to learn how to create your worry-free retirement. We'll meet June 16th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the strategies that give you market growth but protects you from market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get a free personalized retirement income plan? And did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to create a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, June 16th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? Sure, if he wants to. That's one answer. You could say no, or you could say you don't care. I'm actually interested to see how many of you don't care about that at all, or are passionate that, yeah, he can do that. He can do whatever he wants. Let us know. You have about a half hour to vote, a little less than that. 2:33, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Happy birthday, America, in 2026. Get used to hearing the word semi-quincentennial on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. X's and Y's.
Well, we all know how prepared Ryan is for this show. He has an article for today. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting article, and I thought, you know what? Today is X's and Y's, so perfect timing for the subject matter.
So X's and Y's is where we ask questions about boys and girls, and Ryan and Brad right now are speaking for men, and I'm speaking for women. So this is called The Science, and we enjoy it. If you have questions that you want us to answer about men, about women, you can text them to us at 314-241-9797.
All right, this article is from some random comedian influencer who has gone viral.
What was the name of the source in the earlier story?
Well, I don't even remember. It was like Wonder Minds or something like that. This is the New York Post, at least.
Okay.
And she has this thing called Walking Red Flags, which has become her bit.
Okay.
And within that bit, she lists things that guys would never think of that she says women always think are turn-offs.
She's identifying turn-offs for women
Yes.
that men are unaware of.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's random stuff. And so I thought I'd highlight
I'll confirm or deny.
3 or 4 of them in here that I was like, what? Because it was a shock to me to hear this. Okay, the first one. Anything involving a guy running.
Is it like that's just it? Is there any more explanation?
Well, it would say especially if you run with your backpack bouncing, or chasing anything.
I mean, is this saying that it's a turnoff to see a man running from point A to point B to like accomplish something, or just like the dude likes to exercise with running?
I don't think it's talking about
cardio,
going out and doing a run. I think this is if you see a guy just en natural decides he needs to run for some reason, that's unattractive. Seems like a weird one, but okay.
Ryan, have you ever ran?
Have I ever ran?
Sorry.
No. I think I'm going to try that someday.
I kind of think that do you guys, do you want me to react first and then you guys can you say why or whatever, or what you may go first? I think that if a man is running, there is an indication that that they are not in control of the situation. But I will say that if you've got children and there is a situation where a kid needs to be attended to, or maybe like, oh, I fainted, you better run your butt right over here. So, I don't know.
This one says...
If you're like running to get in line for your latte...
That would be something. That's something. But even it says if you're running to chase a ping pong ball.
No, you don't need to run to that.
She's just talking about icks.
You need to...
Yes, she is. That's exactly what this is.
You need to stroll. You
Okay.
need to
So you agree?
strut.
You agree?
I think a man that is in control of the situation is very attractive.
What about a man who is in a business suit but always runs?
And sweaty.
To everything.
Tom Cruise.
Sir, I got these phone books. I've been trying to sell them all day.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like one?
I don't know. I could say, I don't know. I kind of agree with that.
That's what comes to mind for me.
Wow.
I don't
Weird. Weird. I would
Brutal.
never
Can't win.
think of that. Yeah.
It's brutal.
What do you mean you can't win?
Guy. Oh man, he ran. Done with that guy.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Ick.
I
kind of
thought I
agree.
had a wife here. No,
What?
I guess not.
I kind of agree.
ran.
It seems a little nitpicky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all these are nitpicky, so get ready.
Okay.
The next one is...
Get through it.
Get it
the
out,
next
Ryan.
one is jumping over a puddle.
Yeah. No grown man does that.
I do that. If it's
Depends how big the puddle is.
Yeah, you want
Come
to try
on.
to preserve.
No, the right thing is both.
Are you
shoes
doing
straight
that
in.
when you're by yourself on your way to Papa John's 2 blocks over? You see a puddle and you're like, wee.
It's not for fun.
What is it for?
It's not. I'm like running down to get my calzone. I'm like, raindrops keep falling on my head.
No, I actually saw you doing that one time. I was sitting at a stoplight and I look over and Ryan Wiggins is sitting over there doing a little jig.
Oh me, oh my, a puddle.
Now
How
you
will
walk.
I handle this?
You just continue on your path and you walk around the puddle. You don't have to walk through it.
I jump and I get a coin like Mario. Ding.
In my mind, I'm thinking of a man like feet together, bending down, swinging both arms back like he's about to ski, and just hopping on over the thing.
Like
That'd
Buddy
be a
the
red flag.
That's like Buddy the Elf.
Exactly.
That's the way a child jumps.
Come on.
That would be a red flag.
Squatting down with both feet at the same time.
No adult man does that.
And if they did, red flag.
But like, why are we even talking about it if it's
Because
never
Ryan
been done in
thinks
the
this
history
is
of
content.
men?
He's doing it again. Don't entertain Ethan on this
I know.
idea. Why are we even talking? What are we doing here? It
No,
seems
I'm
like all we
saying-
ever do is talk about things. We don't ever actually do anything.
No, I'm saying
What kind of activism?
the style of jump is not something that happens. I thought that the person was
You just
talking
you just cited
jumping.
Buddy the Elf, so it happened.
Like you said, that's the exact point you were talking about.
Yes, it would be a problem for me.
Don't jump over the puddle, but what happens if the puddle is too big to, just step over and it's too big to just go around?
Then you walk through it like
And you
an
just
adult.
step right on through it.
Yeah, that's the only option.
What else are you going to do?
Jump
Turn
over it.
around and go
No,
home?
but if it's too big to jump over.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, I thought
It's
that's
too
what you
big to
said.
just
Okay.
step over.
Then you move through the puddle. You go through the shallowest part.
I have no issues jumping over the puddle.
I don't know. Another red flag. They stand there and they cry because they don't know what to do next.
Now
Well,
that
yeah, if you stand there and cry, it's an ick. You jump over the puddle, it's an ick. See, you can't win.
Last thought is that if you see a grown man jumping over a puddle by squatting down and jumping with both feet,
And
you
doing
grab
what
that
you
guy
said, we.
because that guy's unique. You need to talk to him.
Yeah, and
women.
then take him to the
Put him on
authorities.
TV.
Put him in a backpack.
Exactly.
Yeah, you bring him right
And
here
throw
to the
ping pong
studio
balls in
because
front
we
of him.
would like to put him on the air.
All right, next
In
one.
fact, that's how Ryan got here.
Next one is this. I can't believe this.
Oh, wait. Kevin comments, turn around, don't drown.
You're not putting your face
go back
in
home.
it.
Go home.
You
Day
can
ruined.
Even if
No
it came
pizza.
up to your chest somehow.
Can't win.
You can still breathe. Anyway, wearing sandals with jeans.
Oh, no.
I know. What's the deal?
No, that's terrible. Don't do that.
Ryan, you
No.
support that?
Yes, I love doing that.
I don't want to see your toes. Don't even want to know men have them.
What if I covered them up with just the edge of a sock?
Socks.
Wait, hold on.
I trimmed this sock off just for this
Are
moment.
you saying that so just your toes are covered, or the toes are the only thing exposed?
Don't
That's a
entertain him.
hypothetical. I'm saying generally, why wouldn't you want to see my feet if I'm walking around wearing jeans?
Dude, if you want to have your dogs out for the world to see, you better get your pedicure done.
No way.
Then
I'm a
you've
man.
made your choice.
No, I'm a man.
Yeah.
I could go barefoot like Fred Flintstone. And it would be
The
manly.
sandals make it easier to walk through the puddle.
What, everything you do is manly?
Everything I do is manly.
Annie.
Said with great conviction and a smile because he couldn't even take himself seriously. Look at him.
You couldn't hear that in the
Hey,
radio.
wait, yeah, let's real quick just revisit here. Thick neck, Ryan. There he is.
Yeah.
Look at how studly he is.
Look at that thick neck on
That
me.
is a man.
That is a man's man.
Serious question.
It is artificial.
Is there any outfit or pants that you can wear, slides
Men or women?
sandals, flip-flops, any setting, any location? Is there any scenario where, for a guy, wearing slides or flip-flops or sandals is acceptable?
Yeah, on vacation.
That's it.
I don't know. I think if you're wearing them with shorts, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
I think if you're wearing jeans, but you're like, I draw the line there. I need to expose something.
If I'm
Here are my
Jeans and sandals is
toes.
weird.
Huh.
if I'm going out
Because
to
then
Walmart,
it's like your toes are looking at people.
if I'm going to Walmart or to the store real quick, and I've just been chilling at home and I don't have socks on, I'm not putting socks on just to go to
No,
Walmart.
I don't. What are you wearing on the bottom half?
Like pant wise?
Yeah.
No, never.
Nothing?
Jeans. Never jeans. Either joggers or athletic shorts.
Yeah, this is jeans. This is
Yeah.
like a
Jeans
conscious
is a
fashion
no-no.
choice.
Yep. Jeans, sandals, no shirt, Walmart.
You know, honestly, that's probably
Yeah,
that
pretty
might
much.
be one of the more typical outfits for.
You would not be the worst
Walmart.
dressed person there.
No, I would not. And you would enjoy the bongos on my belly that I'd be playing. What about
We call
What state is this?
we
Florida?
call
This has
we
gotta be
call
Florida.
kid butts bongos in our house. So
what about
bring those bongos over here.
shoes with shorts? It's not on the list. I'm just asking.
Shoes and shorts?
Shoes and shorts, like regular tennis shoes with shorts.
Yeah, I don't care
What-
about that.
What about with socks that are a little high?
That's the style. Ankle socks are out.
What about if they're low then?
I'm fine with it.
I'm
the
trying to
younger
figure out what I can
generation
wear
will judge
around
you.
people.
You go, Ryan. It's never concerned you before. You
I'm
sat
going
down
to do
today
what I
and you go.
want.
You sat down today and were like, I really swung out on my outfit today.
Yeah, my hat does not match
Which is
anything.
the-
It's just bright blue.
He got real nervous when he saw Nate Foy on the show. He's like, I don't know if I'm prepared.
He's not on Zoom, is he?
This is radio, you know.
Big sigh of relief.
Last one, which I hate: drinking milk with dinner. This gives women the ick about guys. Why?
It's a little juvenile.
So is
I have-
jumping over a puddle with both feet.
I know. I said I had a problem with that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You didn't help yourself.
Brad seemed particularly offended by it, though.
That
So
was
I'm going to
weird,
be
yeah.
hanging around Brad when there's puddles just to see what happens.
Why wouldn't you be able to drink a tall glass of milk with
There's
dinner?
something, you know what? I love this because at this baseball game that I was at on Sunday, hopefully these people listen to the show. I was in line at the concession stand at the St. Peter's facility, public athletic facility, Woodland Park, maybe. And there was this grown man, dad, obviously, and he had his daughter who was probably middle school, early high school with him. And he ordered an ice cream sandwich. And the wife walks up and she goes, "You're getting an ice cream sandwich?" And he goes, "Yeah, I am."
I love that.
And then his daughter goes, "You're a grown man and you're getting an ice cream sandwich?" And I said out loud, I'm like, yeah, that's two sides of the same coin right there. Because you're a grown man, you get to have an ice cream
Catching
sandwich.
strays.
Yeah. And there was a judgment right there that a grown man would go up and get what is known as a fat boy, which we also have. Do you know what the fat boy is?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
They're fine.
We have them at the concession stand at the chicken finger concession
Not a
stand.
big enough draw.
The chicken fingers, though.
I'd eat those. I'd eat a fat boy.
Do you have...
Just saying. Not going to drive out to St. Peter's for it.
Do you come to Edwardsville? Is it like for the same thing with the milk question with dinner? Because you are a grown man, you can drink whatever you want, right?
Exactly. Which is probably why I'm getting a slush when I'm at a concession stand.
Yeah, rainbow,
Slush
please.
puppy.
Blue.
Yeah.
When you
Orange dreamsicle.
order the milk with your meal, if you do that at a restaurant, that'd be wild to see. As
Unless
a
it's
grown
breakfast.
man, you have to understand that as a grown man, people are going to judge you for that, and you just don't care.
Yes, which I do.
Which means that if you're having milk with your meal, I'm looking at how confidently you're having your milk with your meal.
So if I order it, as long as I look around when I drink it and I just tell the whole restaurant.
You go, that's right.
Open your mouth as wide as possible.
Yeah.
Try to get it around the rim of the glass.
Oh my gosh, it's time to go to a break. Your questions for X's and Y's on the text line 314-241-9797. And if you were that very confident man ordering that ice cream sandwich at the concession stand, I commend you. You eat that ice cream sandwich up. You guys get it together. Get it together. We'll be right back. Maybe. I don't even know. Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna be okay? It's Ethan's fault.
Are you on the radio?
Todd Sivia would like a word. Are you gonna be okay? Do you need to leave the room? Turn this music off. Huh?
I thought you were talking to me off air. I didn't realize you were
No,
on.
I was on the air. Are you gonna be okay?
Oh, man. Ethan got my goose.
Can I talk about Todd Sivia now?
Yeah.
All right. Sivia Law, online at SiviaLaw.com. If you're looking to create an estate plan, go with a man with a business that you can trust at Sivia Law in Missouri and in Illinois. Wentzville and Creve Coeur for the Missouri folks, in Illinois, Edwardsville, East Alton, Swansea, Centralia, and Mount Vernon as well, a little bit deeper into Illinois. But if you haven't had an estate plan put together yet, if you don't have a trust established, powers of attorney to help you make financial decisions if you are not capable of it, to help make health decisions if you are not capable of it, you need to get pen to paper and get something established, and you need to do it quickly. Right now, if you call 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL, you can get your first strategy session with Sivia Law on the books, and mention Annie when you call. That strategy session fee is going to be waived for the first 10 people who call right now to schedule that appointment. 833-995-WILL, mention Annie, and get your strategy session, your initial one, fee waived. That's a $300 savings. In Missouri and Illinois alike, reach out to Todd Sivia online at SiviaLaw.com.
97.1 FM Talk in action.
It's Mark Cox. Our friends at the USO Missouri are looking for volunteers. From Lambert Airport to Fort Leonard Wood, volunteers help provide comfort and support to those serving our country. Learn more at missouri.uso.org.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, Dad, what causes drains to clog?
Grease, hair, soap scum, and tree roots.
Tree roots?
This town has old pipes and big trees. They find each other.
They grow inside pipes?
They bust into pipes.
Whoa.
Once they're in, the water stops flowing.
Can we fix it?
The big green grasser machine can fix any clog.
Green is always grasser at grasserhomeservices.com.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep, Graybar does that.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, a little more X's and Y's before we wrap up with the results of today's YouTube live chat poll. If you haven't voted yet, hurry on over to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and tell us, is it appropriate for President Trump to attend NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? Go vote. We'll give you those results in about 5 minutes from right now. A few more X's and Y's questions. Brad, what do you got?
Yeah, so the slate that you put up today earlier got me thinking about this because you were commenting on the size of the ring that the AI drew on your finger. And so we're going to set aside
on this lady's finger. I don't know who that is, but anyway.
We're going to set aside this thought of, like, the rings, it's more important that the ring comes from somebody that's special than the size of the ring. But in general, does a larger diamond ring or jewelry like that matter to women? Like, is it more important? If you had a choice, would you choose a bigger ring?
All depends on the finances.
I mean, money not being an object.
Well, yeah, if it's free, I'll take the biggest one you got. Thanks, sir.
Well, that's a good answer because I think some women would not.
Yeah.
I don't know that every woman would choose to have a big ring.
Not to wear all the time. I wouldn't wear it all the time.
You would just wear it for events?
If I were going somewhere nice, just like generally speaking, I wear my wedding band, my engagement band. I have a necklace that I don't ever take off, and sometimes I put on earrings. But if I'm doing an event or I'm going to an event, then I put on jewelry. I'm just thinking about for the value of the thing.
Man, I know. We got married in 2007, and I wish I would have gotten her a gigantic diamond ring because the price of that would have skyrocketed right afterwards. I did get her a fine one, but like the value doubled within like 3 years of buying that thing.
I said to my husband and I started dating in May of 2004. We got married in September of 2007, engaged in January, at the end of January in 2007. And so we dated 04, 05, 06. We dated for almost 3 years before we got engaged. Not quite. And I've told him this before, but I knew the moment that I met him that I could marry him. Didn't know that it was going to happen. We didn't date for well over a year after we initially met. But I just knew enough about him and where he came from and his family that I'm like, this is a good man. And then, we'll see what ends up happening. But I told him probably 2 years into dating him that if he was thinking about marriage, obviously to me, because we've been together for 2 years, that I did not want him in any way, shape, or form to put off us getting engaged so that he could afford some kind of ring. And secondly, I didn't want to be making any payments on a ring. So if that means you've got to go to the department store and get a $50 ring that you can afford, I want to be engaged. I want to be married. Please do not think that the ring has any bearing whatsoever in my desire to get married, to lock this down and to get on with it. And so, he got me a very nice ring, but it's not anything that I don't look at it as a way to be flashy to people. This is something that is important to me, that even if he got me some sort of really expensive, really fancy ring because now we could afford this instead of that, I would not take this ring off my hand. This ring and what this stands for is very important to me from a time that reminds me of where we started, and I would never ever want. I love that. So I don't know that ring size. What was your initial question?
It was basically setting aside what you had said there. Bigger jewelry better, bigger ring better, or no?
If it's an everyday wear, probably not. A lot of people go to those functional rubber rings just because it's dangerous in some circumstances to wear a normal ring. But
yeah, to answer your question, I want the biggest diamond I can get.
I do too, but I just want to have it for an investment.
Right. I want to invest in diamonds.
Yes.
So
especially if you don't have to pay for it.
Right. So in the future, when people need to cut into the earth deeper, they will have to come to me.
Okay. Do you have any more questions? Did you say you had another one?
That was. I don't have my other ones out. That one I just came up with when I was listening to the show. Hoodies. Why do girls steal their man's hoodies? And why don't you just Why don't you just get your own?
Why are you so opposed to sharing? Right?
That's 2 or 3 weeks in a row that the theme has been, why don't you get your
why
own?
are you taking my stuff?
Yeah,
why
like
do you
it,
eat
Brad.
my French fries? Why are you? Why do you eat my candy at the movie theater?
Trying to get to the bottom of this. Why is it that girls want my stuff?
I don't know. I would presume that in a dating scenario, which has been a hot minute since that's happened for me, but don't guys like it when their girls wear their hoodies and t-shirts?
Yeah, kind of.
Until you don't get it back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we do want the shirt back.
After you break up, okay, you can
That's
get it
pretty
back.
safe. No. Just even in the midst of the relationship.
I wore a t-shirt to bed just the other night, and it was a t-shirt that I probably, Brad, stole from Jared in 2004, hanging out at his house after, I don't know, we usually just hung out there, and I probably wanted to change, and he gave it to me, and I didn't give it back. And when I put it on, he goes, "Oh, you're wearing the shirt," which was an indication to me that my husband loves it when I do that. But
He
maybe
probably
when
does.
I go home, I'm gonna be like, "Here's your shirt back."
Here's the thing about that, though.
What?
There is not much more attractive thing, for me at least, than my wife wearing one of my shirts.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
But we're asking about stealing hoodies here.
Hoodies are a different classification of,
Absolutely.
of clothing theft?
I don't know, man.
No. What are you talking about? You draw the line at a hoodie, an oversized hoodie, usually because they're bigger and more comfy,
Well,
too.
they're just more expensive, as Brad was worried about.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'm going to need more details. Is it appropriate for President Trump to attend the NBA playoffs at Madison Square Garden? 5% of you said no. It's not appropriate. 15% don't care. 80% said sure if he wants to.
Oh, wow,
That's
that's a
overwhelming.
landslide.
Maybe he should go again, especially if you're a Spurs fan. Mark Rudin coming up next.